Hey,
Are we back?
we're back.
We're
dinosaur
officially
story.
back.
That's right. We're back, baby.
Holiday break is officially over. I've been waiting
Over.
weeks to say those words, which is nice. The boys are back in town.
The boy. I still haven't started actual work yet. Like, I haven't gone back to my job, but I'm back to work where it counts.
You lucky dog, because you know me, I'm in the total opposite situation. Starting a new job, I had almost no time other than the little bit they gave me. So I only took off Christmas Eve, and then
Oh, man.
yeah, I only had enough to take, because I took off the day after Thanksgiving, I think, and then Christmas Eve. But my boss told me, since I'm salary, he was like, "You can just work in the morning, you know, around the holidays, and then you don't have to do anything the rest of the day." So the 2 days after Christmas, I barely had to do anything. So it was basically like a week off.
Yeah.
Since it wasn't busy or anything.
I took 2 weeks off, and then we were supposed to go to Disneyland on Saturday and Sunday, but we got sick, and we called like Disney, and we're like, "Hey, can we push our tickets back?" Because they have this thing right now for Southern California, or for California residents. You could get 3 days for like $70 a day, which is a really good price, but you have to get 3 days. So you have to pick them. So we picked the days, and then we got sick. We're like, "Hey, we're sick. Like, we can't come." They're like, so we pushed it back to Monday, Tuesday, because Lily wasn't supposed to go back to work until Wednesday. So we're like, we could do it, no problem. And then we got sick at Disneyland, man. Like we got better, and then immediately got sick again.
Yeah, that's hard.
So I just haven't worked because like I've been sick. I can't talk.
Well, hopefully you can make it through this episode without any
We'll see.
issues.
Yeah. Well, like I don't care if this sounds professional or not, but if I'm doing like professional videos for like a company, I don't want to sound like I'm dying.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But as Vic Fury points out in the chat, it has been a year. I wasn't expecting that joke to come up.
I wasn't expecting someone to make that joke that wasn't me.
True, which I'm sure you'll make that joke when we start the actual main audio pod.
No, it's done. It's taken now. Unc took my thing, and Unc, I'll get you your figure out probably tomorrow. I have to mail a bunch of stuff out, so because he won.
And then I still got to mail out. Patrick Weaver picked the carded Leia, so I still got to get that out in the mail.
Yeah.
Busy times, you know. I still haven't even mailed Wilbon stuff from ICC Con, so
Wow,
he
you're
might just have to
piece of shit.
Look, he might just have to wait until the next ICC con. I'm joking. I'm gonna get it out.
It's only like 4 months away.
I mean, at this point, it probably makes sense just to look. I am notoriously bad at mailing stuff.
I know.
So, look,
and you can't do it at work anymore.
Exactly. I can't just drop it off in the mailroom. So ever since that went away, it's been a really hard go for me.
The post office, like the rest of us idiots and peons.
Yeah. So, and there's one like 10 minutes from my house. It's not a long drive at all, and it's a pretty straight shot down a singular road. It's just
so bad, so hard.
But they close at noon on Saturdays. That's so inconvenient.
That is inconvenient.
So I got to make a day. I'm going to do it soon. I promise. By our next podcast. And it's cold out, here in Louisville, Kentucky. Where
I really can't mail. Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
We got a giant snowstorm. That's why I can't mail this package out for the last 4.5 months. So,
yes.
Sorry, Patrick.
That accounts for the last 4.5 months.
It'll be there in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
But anyways, we hope all of our Patreon members had a great holiday season. I hope everybody got a bunch of goodies. Tomorrow, we're going to have a VIP hangout, and I want to hear what our VIPs got for Christmas. And we do have a VIP spot open still, a normal $25 VIP spot. If somebody wants to join that tier, we are doing a VIP chat tomorrow. So it'll be, Mike, I don't know if you can make it, but I will 100% be there and hosting.
I can make it. I'll be there.
All right. Mike will be there, so you can hang out with Mike and myself and the other VIPs and just shoot the shit. It's always a fun time. So if anybody wants to go upgrade, do that. It's only $25 a month. You can upgrade from your $11.25. But if not, no worries. No worries. We appreciate all of our Patreons equally. But is there anything else we need to talk about before we get the main pod going?
I don't know. I guess we could say, how was your Christmas? Like, how was your actual Christmas?
My actual Christmas? I mean, we usually don't go heavy buying gifts for each other in the house because we're both the kind of people. We have a monthly allotment of money that we get. We're both, that's not bill. We just each get it to blow on whatever. Where if we want it, we kind of buy it already. So, and especially, doing the big down payment on the cars, we were just like, for this year for Christmas, we'll just get each other like a $50 gift and stockings and then call it. So I asked for a couple of different things, and I usually don't ask for anything like figure related or toy related either.
Because you buy those,
yeah, I buy those.
Yeah, and I get that.
I did put last year, I think it was the first time on my official Christmas list for Jenna, I put it was a Dragon Ball Z SHF, like the accessories pack, because I didn't really buy that myself. I didn't get it, but she said she was looking at it. It just didn't make the cut last year. But I usually don't ask for figures or anything anyways. But I know I saw you got quite the haul.
I did. Well, I kind of do the same thing as you, where like I put stuff on that I wouldn't necessarily buy myself. Like, it wasn't something where I'm like, oh, I have to have this, so I'll buy it right now. It's something that like I've put on the back burner for specifically this occasion. So when it is time for getting a present, like I feel like I didn't buy it. So if it's not something I love, it's fine. It's great. So I got filled a bunch of holes in my Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions catalog that came out this year. Got that Barbarian Santa, super sexy. But the coolest thing I got a sound bar for my TV.
Nice.
And I got one of those Govee lights that go on the back of your TV, and it uses a camera to look at it.
Yeah.
So it changes so I got that, and that's actually a lot of fun. So we've watched like so many movies because it really adds a lot to the immersion of watching it. Like if something explodes on TV, there's a flash, so it feels like you're like, whoa, it's that paired with better sound. I've really enjoyed it.
That's not. You don't like after you're watching it for a while. Do you think it's distracting or no? Because I've seen people I've seen those online, and some of the comments are like, "Oh, that seems like it'd be way too distracting." But I'm interested to hear your
You
thoughts?
get used to it.
Actually,
No, you
having
get
it.
really used to it. In fact, I really like it. Like I said, there was a really cool scene. I forget what it was, but like something flew across the screen, and like a light went under it to make it just kind of fill out the screen more. I really like it. I think it's really cool, and it's fun to play video games. Like it's fun playing PlayStation with it on. Because all the times I play PlayStation, Fallout,
Yeah, like
not
Outlaws
and Battlefront. I play Battlefront a lot.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 all the time.
I play
Yeah,
Battlefront
just-
2 all the time.
You play the co-op mode just by yourself and don't ask anybody to hop on.
No,
Speaking of that, I do need to hop on Battlefront 2 again. It's been a while. Me, Wilbon, and Zooboy were playing there for a while. We haven't played in a long time, though. Need to get that going again because it's a fun time. We have a fourth spot. If anybody wants to be the fourth, let me know.
I'm my own
Have a
spot. I'm my
full
own
squad.
team. I'm all
Yeah.
I need.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a one-man kill. I'm like John Wick. I'm like a Star Wars John Wick.
You're like Rex in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, basically.
Plot armor all the way through.
Oh yeah, I
Die
just
no
run
matter
through, just one shot in everybody. 360 no scope headshot.
what. I mean,
Have you played the Marvel Rivals game?
no, I've seen clips online though. It looks pretty fun. Have you
It
been
looks
playing
fun. It's free. No, I haven't. I've thought about it.
I've been playing Fortnite with my sister and cousin. I bought the new Samurai Darth Vader and Stormtrooper skin, so that's
Nice.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
So that's my one my Star Wars Christmas gift for my. I got some V-Bucks from my sister for Christmas, and I used them on that. So pretty sweet.
I got a $75 gift card for PlayStation for my parents, and I don't know what to spend it on.
You probably just save it for the next Survivor game or whatever game comes out next, or
Yeah, but who knows how long it's gonna be? I don't want to like sit on
That's
75
true.
bucks.
that is true. Is there anything you've been wanting to play that you haven't bought?
I mean, I don't know. There's the Dragon Ball Z game. I haven't bought that yet.
Oh yeah,
So maybe
it's
Sparking
fun.
Zero.
I've been
Yeah.
playing that. I've been playing Sparking Zero. I haven't played in a little bit, but I've been having fun with the story mode and just honestly just getting like Broly and then fighting like Krillin. It's a lot of fun. Just absolutely kicking ass.
You just jump on his Broly and kick Krillin's ass. That's not even fair.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole fun of it. You just see how fast you can beat the weakest characters. Like you
I would
get,
do
like,
the opposite. Well, hold on. First of all, Krillin's not the weakest character. He's the strongest human.
Well-
canonically speaking,
okay.
Krillin's the strongest human.
Or is it? No wait, Tien's not.
He's not.
Tien's not human. He's got the He's
No, he's
way-
human. But he's not stronger than Krillin. Krillin's way stronger than Shenron.
Well, I thought in Z Krillin isn't, but in Super Krillin's like super strong. But I could be wrong.
No. After Krillin got his upgrade from Kami and and did all the training, nah.
From bald
Krillin's
to
way
hair.
stronger. Yeah.
From whenever you grow hair from being
Yeah.
bald.
Krillin's way stronger.
That's one thing I never liked is they gave Krillin hair after, for like
He
after
stopped
the
being a
main
monk.
story. Yeah, I get it, but it seems like his vibe,
Thank you, Pletho. Krillin is Earth's strongest man. It's on the figure arts box. That's canon.
All right, that counts.
Krillin is Earth's strongest dude.
Interesting. All right, I've been proven wrong.
Yeah.
I'll accept
don't
it. I'll accept
don't
it.
come at me with Dragon Ball Z fights because that's all I used to do back in the day on GameFAQs forum is argue Dragon Ball Z. Okay.
Well, look,
So,
I do know in the game it's really easy to beat Krillin with Broly, the legendary
Sure.
Super Saiyan.
of course
So,
he is because Broly is legitimately stronger. And Pletho's right. 18 is stronger than Krillin as well because 18 is an android. Even if she
Yeah, I
were
mean,
stronger,
18 was
she's got way
kicking
more
everybody's
endurance than Krillin does. But like 17 and 18 are pretty much the same, and 17 won the tournament, the Galaxy or Universe tournament or whatever. Spoiler alert for anyone that has a
Tournament.
super.
Is it the
Yeah.
tournament of power?
Yeah, that one.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Spoiler alert. Now you know who wins.
I mean, it's only been years and years.
It's only been like 8 years, 7 years. Was it 5? 6 years? 6 years.
I'm to the part where Goku just turned to Super Saiyan God, and he's about to fight. He started fighting Beerus,
Oh my God, that's just the movie. You're still watching the first movie.
Yeah, it probably would be smart if I just watched the movie instead of
there's more in it. There's more. They do more and flesh it out more in the show than they do in the movie. But yeah, the first two movies are just arcs in the anime, and it kind of sucked getting through it a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a bit. I need to get back on it.
You should. It goes by fast.
But see, I need to get back on my DBZ grind. But I have made some big purchases lately in the SHF DBZ world.
Let's leave that for the show.
It's not here yet, but so that'll be next episode, hopefully. But yeah, I'm ready to do the main pod. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Zach, you want to do it? Because my voice is gone.
Okay, sure. All right, give me like 2.5 seconds.
All right.
My hands are incredibly cold. So.
Oh, no.
Let me turn off my heater for the main pod. All right. Give it like. All right, we got 40 seconds for the main pod. So let me warm my hands up.
Sure. Big Theory's right. The Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is real good. It's a good movie. I will honestly like it. I've liked all of the movies they've done for Super. I saw the superhero one. I saw that in theater. I'm a sucker for Dragon Ball. I'm a sucker for it though.
So the figure I didn't pre-order. I finally pulled the trigger on the Vegeta, the 24,000 power one.
Oh, nice.
It was on sale for $80, which is cheaper than what Pletho got it when it first came out. He told me. So finally pulled the trigger. All right. Heater's off, so no background noise. So I'm ready to roll.
Kick it.
Welcome to 2025 edition of Black Series Cantina. I hope everybody had a great holiday and New Year. You know, in the Patreon intro, we were talking about we haven't talked to you all in one whole year, so we had to get the joke in at the beginning of the podcast.
That's a classic.
But I hope everybody generally had a great holiday and New Year. I'm Zach, of course. Here with me is Mike Case to talk about the Black Series.
Hi. My voice is gone. If anyone is listening to me and like, Mike sounds weird, that's why. My voice is gone. But I'm here. Just no voice.
You're committed to the craft of podcasting.
I can't not do the podcast. I'll write it out, text to speech if I have to.
We could just replace you with AI maybe one day.
I mean, it's worth a shot. See how it comes out. I'll come out with like 20 fingers on one hand, but it'll still be me.
Yeah, I mean, AI is getting pretty good. So one day we'll just be an AI podcast. So talking about.
I'm just going to upload my consciousness up to AI. I'm going to take up so much electricity just to exist, just like I do now in real life.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. But 2025, we have a great year to look forward to. And I know our last episode, we did a sort of 2024 look back. So later on, we'll kind of take a look forward at what we hope to get out of 2025 Black Series. And we're excited to do podcasts every other week for you all to listen to talk about the toy line that we both love and we know you all love as well. Since you're listening to this, that means you're a hardcore Black Series collector or Star Wars fan. I hope you're a hardcore Black Series collector anyways, if you listen to this podcast. I don't know why you would listen to it if you're not.
I'm cool if you're not a hardcore collector. If you're just a casual collector, if you're just like dabbling and you're like, oh, listen to this to see what's up. I'm not gonna gatekeep you. You can listen to us for whatever reason you want. You can listen to us just because you think we're dumb. You know what? Hate listen to us, please. Call your grandma. Get her over here. You guys can eat popcorn and talk about how dumb we are. Roll it.
Or you're a TVC collector and you want to listen to like the other side of the aisle point of view to see what's going on. But either way,
I had a conversation about that on my Instagram the other day. Someone was like, "Oh my God, you guys get all the good stuff," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You just got a Ghost." Like the Ghost just shipped. How is your Ghost? As a 6-inch collector, I'll never get anything that cool. How's your Ghost doing?
Also, did they not just get a Journey of Anakin Skywalker 3-pack? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Where's that in Black Series?
Like, sure, do we get stuff they don't? Absolutely. But like, if you just focus on that, like you're missing all the stuff you do have and you do get that we don't get in the Black Series because we can't, or they're just not gonna, or whatever. I will always argue that the scales are balanced. They're just not balanced directly.
Yeah.
100%.
And also, they always ignore the fact that when we bring up whenever we get a Kelnaka, they get a Kelnaka with a bunch of accessories.
Way better stuff, yeah.
So, they get a Book of Boba Fett, and then a Fennec Shand with the blue drink she's drinking, and
their hunter's better than our hunter.
Their hunter's better than ours, and yeah, all these extra accessories on their figures. Their Darth Vader comes with an alt pointing hand or choking hand or whatever it is, and ours is same old Darth Vader all the time. So, but we've covered that. We don't need to kick that horse too much anymore. Everybody knows our point of view on that. But to kickstart 2025, do you want to jump into fine editions real quick?
Let's do it.
Fine addition to my collection.
All right, who goes first? You go first?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
All right, Mike Case kicking us off.
I have a lot, but a lot of it's just like Christmas present stuff that it's just, I don't know. I don't want to go over all of it, but I did get some stuff recently. The first thing I want to show off is my little Michelangelo here. I love him. He's the best.
That's a sick accessory.
Yeah, isn't it? Little spinny nunchuck accessory. This is a third party, so it's not licensed. It's but there's a little blurb on the back of the box that's like, this figure has modular parts. If you use those modular parts to create a character that infringes on copyright, the manufacturer cannot be held responsible or something like that. So basically just saying like, if you make this into a Ninja Turtle, like it's not our fault.
Smart.
So, yes, Pletho, it's one of the 4 seasons. This one is, I think, autumn. So we're just waiting for winter to come out right now, which is going to be Raphael. Let's see. I don't know if I showed off this guy last time, but I put a cool, his name is Fisher Price, but I put a cool little like see-through ghost skull head on his body.
That's cool.
And I think that's really neat. I also like his colors. But the big thing for me is today I got a big box from Big Bad Toy Store. And in that box, I got a 2-pack.
Ooh.
This is one of the Legion Con 2-packs. It's Gaspar the Unamused and Galrich the Unpredictable. And these are homages to 2 of the creators of the line. They basically, because those are their names. But there's like a bunch of just stuff in here to just turn them into like different guys. So I passed on this initially because the base figures didn't interest me at all. But some of the different configurations I've seen, I'm like, oh damn, I kind of do want that. So I bought it off of Big Bad Toy Store because they put them on sale there. Yes, Pletho figure. Wow, Fig Fury. I can talk. This guy is the Fisher Price. His name's actually Fisher Rice, but he is an homage to one of the Fisher Price Adventure People alien figures they had back in the 80s. Not in this configuration, but he comes with a head that looks a lot like the original. Anyways, the last 3 things I want to show off. I don't have anything Black Series. Obviously, we just started the new year, and I got all the cool stuff last year. But I did pick up the 3 Street Fighter figures I was missing. I haven't opened them up yet. This is Guile. And then we got DJ. And then Cammy, who I'm very much looking forward to opening up. I watched Pletho's video on Cammy, and she looks great. I love the Street Fighter 2 line. It's probably one of my favorite lines It's just
I love looking at them. They're pretty incredible to look
the
at.
figures are so smooth. So I'm looking forward to opening them up. I haven't yet because I get like overwhelmed when you get too many figures at once. Once.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Like I just get like I don't know what to do. Like there's just too much to mess around with. So I told myself like I'm just gonna mess around with this Michelangelo for now, get my enjoyment out of it, and then once that kind of loses the luster, I'll open up something else. So those are gonna hang out in the meantime while I'm playing with Michelangelo until I move on to something else. Because otherwise, I just feel like there's just too much to do. There's too much to mess around with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you got?
Oh, that's all your fine editions?
That's all
right.
I mean, I got more stuff, but it's fine.
Yeah. I guess they can check out your Instagram or wherever
For
you
sure.
posted
Yeah,
all
if you
your,
check me out,
your big
Mike
giant
Case.
Christmas haul.
Yeah, Mike.case, you can see my Christmas haul.
All right, let's start off with... I got 3 Star Wars items. I don't know which one to start off with because they're all so cool. But I'm going to start off with... I finally got Pirate Captain Brutus, which absolutely... I don't know if I fine editioned this one last time. I may or may not have. I don't think I did, but absolutely one of my favorite figures from last year. A late addition to the top 10, I would say, because of how, late in the year I got him. But just an incredible sculpt, incredible paint apps, the details, like even like inside of the shoulder, where the where the butterfly joint is, just all that detail in there is really incredible. They went so hard on this figure. The sculpt and the paint on the head is just very menacing. Sometimes I feel like when I'm watching Skeleton Crew, his head on the figure seems a little small. But then I've noticed it looks like Brutus. In some shots, he has like his hair is poofier, and then in some others, and because they're probably using different masks and it's combed differently sometimes. With how many
Or
different
maybe
times
sometimes it's CG enhanced or something. Because I know they do that.
Yeah,
in
something
Neil.
like that.
Like Neil is a combination of the kid doing his live action performance, someone in a Neil outfit recreating that performance, and then CGI on top of that, and they sort of mix it all together.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they do something similar with Brutus.
Yeah. If I had one gripe about the figure, his left hand is very tight, so you have to use the really tiny guns in that one.
Yeah.
But it's only a gripe because I didn't know that going in, so I was trying to fit one of the bigger blasters on his hand, and then obviously you have to kind of realize that that's not the case. And then also, I would have loved to get some of the fur on his hand that's coming out of the sleeve painted, because there is some fur on just the gray plastic hand. So it's not all skin there, and it's just gray plastic fur, which is fine. It's not the biggest deal, since you can't really see that detail on the shelf. But just one thing I would kind of wish they would have done. But again, that's a very, very minor nitpick. Still an absolutely amazing figure. Next up, big shout out to Zoo Boy for shipping me the Darth Vader Masters of Evil 3-pack, but I didn't get the 3-pack, of course. I only got the Darth Vader. It's the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader on this nice, crispy black and red card. This is going to look excellent up on the wall, and I love you get the shot of the figure, just a quick description of Vader, and then I love almost like the classic Black Series style picture here in the corner.
You're gonna get Hayden Christensen to sign that at some point?
No, I don't. I mean, as much as I love Hayden, it would have to be the new Anakin on like a really cool packaging box for me to pay another
$300.
$300 for the autograph.
Yeah.
But to get this signed, it'd have to be like George Lucas or someone.
He is the only living Vader now, though.
He is the only living Vader. R.I.P. All the rest of them. Maybe that makes him the best Vader. I don't know. You tell me.
Makes him the youngest Vader, that's for sure.
But yeah, this is so crispy and clean and nice. I just love the black and red, especially on him, looks great because it's his character aesthetic already.
Oh, for sure.
Card
yeah,
just matches.
that card is really, really sharp.
Yeah, it's really clean on the Vader. And then last but not least, I got the SHF C3PO, and you want to talk about a shelf upgrade. I don't know if this is still in stock. I'll have to check. But if it is, I might have to do another one because I need one for the shelf and I need one for probably a 3D print. So just an incredible upgrade over the Black Series version. Obviously, with Black Series budget, they're not getting this kind of paint reflection and...
What, this guy?
But
this guy right here?
Yeah, that guy. The one you've had for forever. And I don't know. I know this is a reissue. I don't know if they've made, I'm not an SHF guy. I don't know if they've made any improvements to the reflection on it, but
I feel like yours is a little shinier than mine.
let me pull that up. And it could be the lighting. I have bright overhead lighting down here, and your light's more dim. So
True.
I know we'd have to ask
Yeah.
Mr. Coffee or someone, one
Remember
of the...
the one guy on your Instagram that was like, why does he have a silver leg?
Yeah, on TikTok.
Yeah, always has
What was
a
it?
silver
Instagram or
leg.
TikTok? I can't remember.
It was TikTok.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was TikTok.
Yeah, he said, why does he got a silver leg? It's like, since 1977?
Since
Maybe you should
1977, yeah.
Go back and check that out. But, yeah, those are my 3 fine editions. So
Plato
great.
says the more recent version is shinier.
Oh, so they did make a...
Yeah.
That's good. And I got it for the retail price. It went up on Ami, and I had Wilbon letting me know when it went back up. Pulled the trigger on it. And it's just, I wasn't expecting it. I knew it was a lot better because I've seen pictures of it. But I guess you don't realize it, how big of an improvement it is until you set it side by side with the Black Series C3PO.
Yeah.
And it's like, why haven't I had this thing for years?
Honestly, after messing with this, the Black Series 3PO is a little undersized too. R2 was undersized and C3PO is undersized. So now they got to give us a new protocol droid body.
Yeah. And I mean, even then, unless they match the paint, I'm probably not going to pick it up because I'm good. I'm good with what I got.
Plato wants to know why he doesn't have a red arm. It's so we can recognize him.
Yeah, I want to know who he is on the shelf. But yeah, those are my fine editions. So before we jump into listener emails, let's do a quick Patreon commercial. We do have a Patreon account if you're a new podcast listener. From every budget, $2, $5, $11. And we do have a VIP spot available. There's only a limited supply of those, and it's $25 a month. But we do have a monthly VIP hangout we do. We're going to do one by the time you're listening to this podcast. We've done it on Friday, but we try to do one every month. We didn't do one the last couple months because I think it's just hard getting everybody together.
November and December were rough. Yeah.
Yeah, with holiday, and I was sick for a long time, and Mike was sick for a long time, and it's just Christmas shopping. It's just and doing stuff with families. It's kind of impossible around those times, and doing the main pod, and other people's shows. It's just hard to do it. So, but we are doing one tomorrow, and if you want to be part of those going forward, sign up for the VIP spot, and that really helps us out, helps the podcast out. And we do have merch. That's another way to support us, but Patreon would be the way to go. But I say we jump into listener emails real quick.
Let's do it.
I do want to give a big shout out to our listening audience because they kept the email segment alive to close out 2024.
I loved it. We got so many.
Yeah. And I was a little worried that, we'd be on holiday break and people wouldn't email us. But we actually got a couple right after last podcast. And then we even got a couple leading up to this one for people to get them in. So if you want to shoot us an email for our next podcast, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Let's jump into these. This one is from Piggleman again. He says, hey guys, Piggleman here. It's the holiday season, and I figured I'd focus on positivity with this latest question. What's one thing you were thankful for from 2024 when it comes to the Black Series line? That's an excellent question. One thing I'm thankful for is more prequel figures.
He said one thing.
One thing.
He said one thing, and you're like, oh, let me list them all. I have a list too, but
okay.
One thing.
What's one thing?
One thing.
If I had to pick one thing. Oh, this is tough. This is a very tough on-the-spot question.
Mine is vehicles back in the line. I think small, reasonably priced, reasonably spaced vehicles are perfect for 6-inch. Speeder bikes, all that. Personal speeders, 100%. There's no reason they can't do those in the line. So I was very happy to start getting those again in the line.
All right, I'm going to go a different direction now, but I'm going to say the leaks.
Oh,
Thankful
no.
for all the Black Series
No.
So
those are the worst.
they are and they aren't, you know.
They would 100% are.
It gets annoying how many they are, and seeing them, like, getting them revealed like that is kind of annoying. But from a TikTok content creation standpoint, it gets a lot more traffic.
Sure.
It's a lot more consistent than
get that bottom line, getting those bucks for. Well, TikTok's going away, so.
No, look, tomorrow, Friday the 10th, is the Supreme Court hearing. I'm actually going to go to DC and be there in person for it. So
Are you really?
No, I should though.
Okay, you had me.
I should go hold a sign that says you're affecting small businesses by getting rid of it. But speaking of TikTok, I did post I basically recycled some of my really heavy hitters, and they did really good again. So December was a really good year for me. So that's why I bought the Vegeta I was telling you about earlier for $80. But great question, Piggleman. On to the next. We have Christopher Dean here. Hey, Mike and Zach. I enjoy driving around running errands every other Saturday and listening to you fellas chat about the Black Series. Wanted to do my part in keeping the email segment alive. With all the crazy sales and Ross drops lately, I've been picking up more than a few discounted figures that I hadn't planned on getting due to lack of interest or ambivalence about the source material. However, some of these have turned out to be really great action figures. A few that come to mind are the Mandalorian Night Owl and Privateer R460O, May, and the New Republic Security Droid. Although it's nice to have gotten them at a discount, it makes me wonder what other gems I may have missed that never hit clearance. So my question is, what is your favorite Black Series action figure of a character you don't generally care about?
It's a good question.
Insane question. Amazing question. We haven't had that one before. I have an answer to this. I'd have to think of the figure, though.
Oh, I mean, I can always... I talk about this in almost every review I do because I feel like it's one thing to not care about the figure, but sometimes figures are just good on their own. Like, you don't have to know anything about the figure. Like, take for instance, and I'm not saying this is one, but Captain Brutus. You could never watch Skeleton Crew. You could not care about Skeleton Crew, but this is a cool figure, hands down. So I think my answer is always going to be, what's the name? Is it Zori Bliss?
Zori Bliss. I think Jaina is also a good figure.
Like, just the way that she looks, the detailing. She's a great figure. Heck, I'll take it one further. Constable Zuvio.
Yep. Zuvio, Zori Bliss.
He gets, it's these figures that get a bad rap, but like they're good figures. They're like, as figures, they can fill out a cantina scene, Jabba's Hutt palace scene, because they're interesting looking. But like, sure, you might not care where they came from. I don't like the Rise of Skywalker, but Zori Bliss is a great figure.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of put my own spin on the question, since Mike put some great ones out there, but I'm going to go from like sort of the general public's point of view. The general public doesn't seem to care about Reva that much, but Reva is one of the best Inquisitors we have, and absolutely incredible Black Series figure.
100%.
Like all the detail on the hair.
She comes with 3 lightsabers.
Yeah. Like that's an excellent Black Series figure, and people, I guess, people didn't like the show, people didn't like that specific character. Some for good reasons, some for not good reasons.
Sure. Yep.
But that figure peg warmed very hard, and it's a lot better than the Fifth Brother, because that Fifth Brother figure makes me run into a damn wall sometimes when I look at that lightsaber peg. And it's like, you clearly made these at the same time. Why aren't you doing the small peg?
He's like super cheap. You can buy a replacement.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying the giant peg on the saber.
Oh,
how it's like
on the back. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
hers and the Grand Inquisitor, they have little tiny pegs that stick on perfectly. Yep. But his peg is
huge.
It's like it's insane. It's in the way you can't hold it right. Yeah. And it affects the way he holds the blade.
Yep, it does. You're right.
But thank you, Christopher. That is probably one of the best questions we've gotten. This is from
Bendejo
RJ.
says Rio Durant, and I agree.
Rio
That's another
Durant.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah. RJ Brush says, hey guys, first off, welcome back. I wanted to make sure the listener email segment had some material since it's been a little while. I could see people overlooking this over the last few weeks. I think I have a good question point for you guys to debate. We have now had 11 full years of figures of the Black Series. Last year was amazing, but where does it stand next to the other years? Basically, what rank do you give 2013 to 2024? 2018 had digital face printing, and yet I thought that year was pretty awesome. 2014 had the blue line, which I feel like still had some good figures, but also the largest grouping of sad figures as well. I'm looking at you, Giant Yoda, Tiny AGA, and Bad Obi-Wan, Bad Emperor, and Sad Vader. That's nearly a third of figures we got that entire year. Then there was the year that they didn't get the memo and everyone was shiny. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys rank the years and your opinions on each. I think last year is, if not the, definitely one of the best Black Series years. 2024 and 2023, regardless of what those idiots on YouTube say. I'm not talking about Out of the Basement, so don't clip this and then clip that. I'm talking about the idiots on YouTube that
I'm
say,
definitely not saying that
the
Justin
Black
and Nate
Series
are awful people, and Justin specifically is a giant man baby. I'm not saying that at all.
Not saying that. But there are YouTube accounts out there.
Yeah.
He actually sent us to it in the Show Squad group chat of people, the Black Series is dead. This is why nobody buys Black Series. But then you look at the figures they release, and they're just banger after banger after banger. I think one of the worst years was probably 2017, 2018.
Easily 2016, 2017 were the worst years. 2018
Redbox.
is when we got digital face printing at the very beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So it was an uptick from there. But 2016, 2017, 2018, they were 2016, 2017, they were doing this weird like soft focus on the face where they weren't putting any paint on them except for like the eyes and the lips. And it made everything look like it was when you get like glamour shots at the mall where there's like no definition in your face.
Yeah. Because those figures were a weird combination of the articulation wasn't great yet and the photoreal wasn't introduced yet.
Yeah.
Now we have both, but then, and also the details kind of went away because 2013, I would argue, was still a pretty solid year. 2014 was okay. It's not, it's not comparable to now, but for figures of the time, 2013 figures were pretty solid. We had a lot of accessories. We had a lot of paint detail. 2014, I think we had more of like the deluxe packs. I feel like if we have to rank them, it has to be, you have like before Christ and after Christ or after death.
Sure.
It has to be like pre-photoreal, post-photoreal.
Do you think AD stands for after death?
No, it's after, what's the word? It's the...
Anno Domini.
Yeah, but I've always just called it after death because before, before Christ, after death.
Sure, that's it's just like a 3-year gap where there's no like a 30-year gap where he was alive, or they don't just count it years. Anyways,
but yeah, I feel like we'd have to do that for photoreal too, and maybe even all the advanced articulation we have. But
yeah,
2017 is probably the worst, I would say.
I would easily say 2017. If I had to pick one, it would be 2017. Because that was also the year we got all of the. As much as I love The Last Jedi, the figures for it were awful. They just weren't good. And that was the Last Jedi year. So I don't. Oh, you know what? I might say 2016 because Rogue One figures were even worse than Last Jedi figures.
Rogue Ones were pretty terrible too.
Oh yeah, you had the stupid Jyn Erso and
I feel like it would. Did we get more cooler deluxes in 2016 than 17 though? I'd have to. Or maybe
so I had every intention after reading this of adding the previous years to my spreadsheet. Like it wouldn't take that long, just copy and paste and just And then I never did. My spreadsheet only goes back to 2021.
So rank them, or what would you say is the best year since photoreal?
Ooh.
I would say it had to be one of these last 2 years.
I would say honestly, I think this was a really good year. I had a really tough time picking a top 10, and we got some like really cool figures. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we definitely got fewer figures this year than we got like last year or in 2022.
I feel like the quality's gone up, especially these last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think having fewer figures is a bad thing. I think we were getting too many figures in 2023 and 2022, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the worst one was 2022, and because that was the year that, or maybe it was 20. What was the year with mostly plastic free packaging? And it wasn't the plastic free packaging, but it was we just started getting too many weird repacks and stuff. Like that's what caused me to stop being a completionist.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
we're on what, year 3, going into 3.5 of podcasting, so I feel like it would have had to been 2022 PFP.
Yeah, I think it either was last year or this year, but I think if I had to choose, I would say this year, honestly,
As being better.
as being the best.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I think. It has to be one of these last 2 years. I think we're at a perfect, I guess it could never be perfect, but I feel like we're at a really good spot with balance in the line combined with quality of figures and quantity of figures. We're getting a lot of prequel stuff. Soon we're going to be getting a lot of OT stuff. Revenge of the Sith stuff is on the way. We've got some Phantom Menace representation in the line this past year. Sebulba's coming up in the future. We're getting prequel stuff. We're getting OT stuff. We're getting new media stuff. Who knows if we're going to get some sequel stuff or whatever. But I feel like we're at a good spot right now. We're getting a bunch of legend stuff right now. So, Caesar's on the way.
I think that's what's putting it up for me is getting all the crazy like legend stuff. Like
a Legends 4-pack with a new sculpt in it.
If you told me in 2024 we were getting a Jorus Sabayoth figure, I would have said you were nuts. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Or we'd get Prince Shizor and like that's. I think 2025 has the potential to be the best year ever for Black Series. I really do.
I mean, once that new Anakin hits, it's gonna be right up there. We all know.
And we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes, yeah,
because we're gonna go over that. But yeah, I think 2024 was a really strong contender. But 2023 had some bangers too, like the new R2 mold, like the Darth Malgus. Like there were some really good figures.
Yeah, and for early Black Series, pre-photoreal. I still think some of the really early stuff, 2013, 2014.
I'd say 2014.
The deluxe, the Tauntaun and the Wampa.
Well, think about, we were getting a lot of prequel stuff in 2014. Still, like we got a lot of clone troopers.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the time it was really good, but it just didn't age very well.
Yeah, I feel like for the time the figures were great. Then because we also
if you put them in context,
the Target, the Shadow Squadron 2-pack, like all the big deluxe stuff was really good. That was the year the SDCC Boba Fett, with Han Solo and Carbonite,
right?
Were those years, but then I feel like once we get into 2015, 2016, 2017, the quality went down, and it just hit that weird crossroads of quality went down and pre-photo reel. So
yeah, there was definitely a dip in
quantity went up like crazy
for sure.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so Sam, we really appreciate that question. That was RJ Bresh. Sam has the next question. Sam Govin says, "Hey guys, hope you all had a great holiday break. What do you guys think the first Black Series reveal of 2025 will be? If one has been by the time you're recording, was it what you expected? Also, when it comes to your displays, do you use stands for keeping your figures from going down in domino style, or are they all just standing on their own feet? I'm starting to get really annoyed by huge collapses in my collection and looking for a solution. Thanks and have a great week, Sam." It's probably going to be one of the leaked ones, right? I would imagine. And I feel like we have to have a Black Series reveal soon. It's been since December 17th.
I would guess we'll probably not get one until like the beginning of February. That's just my guess. That's usually when we start getting them.
So we're recording on January 9th now. So a couple more weeks, you think?
I do. And we have, as of right now, we still have 5 figures pipelined, not counting leaks, but pipeline figures that are confirmed to come out. So I'd be very surprised if we didn't get some of them announced really soon.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised if SM33 got, well, no, he got recently pipeline, so that'd be pretty quick.
Well, he's pipelined. Yeah, he's one of the pipeline figures.
Probably my guess is going to be the Moff Gideon, the Imperial or the Dark Trooper version or whatever he is. Because we've seen it leaked and it's been in the pipeline for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to predict that one. And
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yep. For the next question, so I'm in the middle of redoing my displays. Mike, I don't know if you've seen, but I got my clear risers up on the top 2 shelves, right? Yeah. So
look very clean.
I have these 2 to replace next. These were nice because they actually had foot clips in the stand, that Lance Luke stand that he made. That's really nice if you don't put so many figures on it in the middle, because it does end up starting to lean in the back. But also I kind of like these ones because they're thicker and you have more range. You can pose them. You don't have to just sit them flat facing forward.
Yeah.
You can kind of pose them a little bit. But I'm fairly good at balancing figures, but the ones that I do have an issue with, even though it doesn't look the greatest, like say like a security droid or something, I'll still take the Lane Speeder Luke foot clip and I'll just put it in it and set it on there. And even though it doesn't look so great against the clear shelf, I put them in the back so that way it kind of hides a little bit behind a figure. So it's really not that noticeable, but this helps a lot if you have a 3D printer like I do. But look at that.
Speak of the devil.
There he is. So these are really helpful, but I know not everybody has access to the 3D printer. But I do have 1 million of them now since I don't need a ton of them anymore. So hit me up in the DMs if you might need some.
Yeah, I don't have stands I have stands. I have the clear stands that Zach here is talking about, but I don't have anything extra holding them up. The figures that tend to fall over, I display in a way that it doesn't matter if they fall over. Like I'll lean them against the back wall, or like the battle droids, I have all of them folded up in the back. So it's harder for them to fall over because the center of balance is a lot lower when they're folded up into their little fold up mode. So that's how I'm kind of getting past that.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm nervous for, because the next one I have to do, I have the shelves built for these 2, but my next shelf is the prequel villains shelf. I'm going to take some figures off it, like Ventress and like one of the Darth Mauls, and put them separately somewhere, because I would just want it to be like the Separatist shelf, really, and then maybe the Sidious, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm really worried about all the battle droids on it, so that's going to be... I might have to do just foot clips and put them all in the back or something. But Luke in our chat, Lane through Luke says, "Love the episode title." So the episode title is "Can't Say I Remember No Rancor," because Mike and I have programmed ourselves to completely have forgotten about the Black Series Rancor, just like SM33 was programmed to forget about AT-AT and Skeleton Crew. So if anybody ever brings up the Rancor after this episode, can't say I remember that campaign,
That's our official policy. We're just kind of tired of talking about it. Honestly, like, yes, it happened. It didn't happen. Let's get past it.
I'm tired of reliving the pain of how close it got. So yeah, I'm programming it away. If SM33 can do it, I can do it too.
So if anyone brings it up, can't say I remember no Rancor.
Can't say I remember no Rancor. All right, next listener question, Sam. That was a great question. Next up, we have Stan Kaminsky. Happy New Year to you guys. Let's keep the email segment alive for all of 2025. I agree. So people send in your emails. Hope you had a great break. What would you think of Hasbro doing a squad pre-order, but the way they did for the Marvel Dragon Man? No minimum backers, just a stated price and an estimate for shipping. For a squad, they could do 4 figures with a bigger item, like a small vehicle or diorama piece. As an example, they could do Sand Troopers with 4 Sand Troopers on the updated body and then a dewback that one could ride. Thank you for all the great shows. Darth Platypus.
I think it's a great idea.
I think that's a Pulse exclusive. That's not a terrible idea. I think it only hurts the people who don't want specific characters. Like I wouldn't want to do the Bad Batch because some people might want Hunter, but they don't want Crosshair. Or they don't want, Wrecker or whoever. But I think for troop builders like that,
I think it's good for troop building. Yeah.
Give me a 4-pack of Rebel Commandos on Endor with different faces and like an accessory, like a big.
I mean, it's pretty much what they do in the TVC. Like they have those little troop packs where it comes with. They did the rebel fleet trooper, and there was like a bunch of different build outs for that you see in those scenes. Like I would 100% be okay with that, and if that's how they have to do it, where they do the minimum order thing where they just put it up for pre-order and you order it, so be it. I'll do it. I'm in.
Yep. Yeah, if they could do like $100 4-pack and some type of maybe one of those blasters that you stand on the ground, it's like a the tripod blaster or something.
Yeah, like an E-Web. Yeah,
like a smaller E-Web or something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be ideal. I'd definitely be in on that. Just as long as if they're gonna do something like that, like a clone 4-pack, they don't do named clones. So that way, if people want to.
So you can
they do in TVC because TVC always adds in a named character. Then people complain you can't buy multiple of them. So there's pros and cons to that. Thanks for the email. We have Lane Hickerson. We have one more email. Lane says, "Hey guys, Happy New Year. I hope all is well with you too. Here's my question. What do you want to see from the Black Series in 2025? Could be them announcing accessory pack, single piece, lightsabers, etc. Thanks for all the great discussions and joy you all bring to the community." What I want to see from 2025, I really want to see them continue this balance they have. I feel like 2024 was a great year for prequels. I want to get, and I know we are getting, Mike, you already have the Luke and Leia. So most of us will be getting that Luke and Leia here soon. I think my Amazon order ships next week.
my Luke shipped from Hasbro Pulse.
That's pretty awesome. So those will be coming, and so I really want more. I want to keep this balance going where we get some OT stuff, we get some prequel stuff. Especially for Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, and it is the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, and we did see there is an official licensing logo for that. Whether Hasbro will use it for Black Series, who knows? We know other producers or companies will be using it. So maybe some Force Awakens, like updated Rey, updated Kylo. I would love an updated Kylo Ren. Like I would kill for it.
I would like an updated any of those, to be honest with you. It's been 10 years. All of those figures they've aged poorly for the most part. And I think
yet the Rey can only hold the lightsaber with one hand, they're pretty bad.
Yeah. I feel like it's about time.
Yeah. So I would want to keep the balance going.
Yeah.
And more small vehicles.
Yeah, I think what's going to help this year is we're not going to have, as far as I know, the only big show coming out this year is Andor Season 2.
I haven't even thought about this. Is that the only one coming out?
I think so. I don't think Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out, and they haven't announced anything else. So I don't think there will be any big show or movie that's going to take up like a wave of figures. Because this last year, we had both the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew essentially
And
take
Bad
up.
Batch, right?
No, but there
was
wasn't a
that-
season 3 Bad Batch.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of shows that could potentially.
Sure, but I'm talking about what actually came out.
Yeah.
Like we had a wave of Acolyte figures and a wave of Skeleton Crew figures that essentially took up spots that could have been other figures in a mainline wave. So I think not having that, you know, potentially just getting some more Andor stuff, which we've already gotten a couple of from season 2. I think that frees up spots for other stuff for them to fill in those holes, which is what I'm looking forward to. Like, give us more weird shit. Shadows of the Empire, like, start there, go crazy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm here for it. So that it might actually be nice to have a year where there's not that many new media.
Yeah, we don't have any
Figures
new
coming
big
out.
media
You
to
just-
worry about. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and it lines up perfectly with that episode 3 20th anniversary. So maybe we can get more of those than we did, you know, Phantom
I
Menace
wouldn't hate
anniversary
it.
and all that stuff.
And you know what? I would love if they're doing, you know, small personal scale vehicles still. Was it ATRT?
I mean, anything. I would buy
I
anything.
I think that they could do an ATRT or a Bark Speeder.
I was gonna say Bark Speeder would.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that we really appreciate all the emails. Keep the email segment alive. Next episode, email us blackseriescantina at gmail.com. We do have, we can go ahead and jump into some news. There's been plenty of leaks.
Oh my God.
It's been going absolutely crazy.
The leaks have been going so crazy. We could just make this our whole episode, honestly.
It really could. And we can just skim through them really quickly here.
There's some big ones in there I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. And shout out to Out of the Basement, because if you join their Discord, look, I'm only part of 2 Discords, Monday Night Figure Balls and Out of the Basement. So I'm loyal.
I don't
to my
understand how
people.
anyone could be part of more than one. Like, I don't understand how you choose what Discord to jump onto. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I also barely use Discord. I usually on my phone only.
I don't,
log in
and that's the
on
other thing is I don't
laptop
understand
so I could-
I don't understand the appeal of Discord. I just don't get it. Like, I just do not get.
Well, I think it's so you can message people
I don't want to
constantly
message people.
on a. I'm kind of in that same boat.
I text you guys.
but
Like, when I want to message someone, I text you. I text Dan Larson. I text my wife sometimes, but she doesn't care about toys. Like, that's all I care about. I don't care about like all this other stuff.
but it is a very nice laid out Discord. You got all these, you know, things on the side, but the leaks one is really handy because it just has them all right here. Nice and handy. And like there's no people talking in it, so it's just perfect. You can go look at the pictures of what's been leaked in one specific area. So
Yeah.
shout out of the Basement Discord. If you enjoy Out of the Basement, the show, they're always saying join the Discord, so you should definitely join it.
You got those Discord sounds going off.
It's been driving me crazy all day. I had to log out, and I just now logged in. I haven't figured out how to mute
You
it.
could turn them off. I did.
I tried. I don't know how. So we're gonna.
There's the mute button right up on the top.
No, it's literally right there. Is that it? Notifications. I got them
Settings.
off. Notification settings.
Mute channel. Mute channel.
Oh, okay. I see now. All right. So hopefully that
There you
works.
go. All
I
right.
thought I'd tried everything earlier, but all right. See, that's why I'm a rookie to Discord. This is the first time I've ever logged on.
Dude, I hate
on the
Discord.
desktop.
Even I knew how to do that. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I've never logged on the desktop before now, but you know, it's kind of nice. I might keep it up, and I might be able to chat in here more if I keep it up. But all right. So, anyways, let's go over some of these leaks. We have a look at the zombie Death Trooper coming up soon.
So is that a new body for the Death
I
Trooper?
mean, it has to be. Well,
yeah, right.
so apparently the arms they have the same articulation style though, so they're not. See, it just did it again.
Oh, you're
Mike,
right.
it did the sound.
All right, fine.
But it has the same articulation style, so that's not like new butterfly joints or deeper elbows, but it is. It does have new sculpt.
It's good.
I might not be able to do this. It's been driving me crazy when I was looking at it earlier. All right, we're just gonna fly through them. Ezra, pretty arms, and then I guess there's some Grand Inquisitor legs they're gonna reuse. But here's a big one: Han Solo arms. Look at the nice deep elbows on there.
Yeah, they look real good.
Chewbacca legs. It looks like we're gonna be getting a new Chewbacca.
Definitely getting a new Chewbacca.
Yep. Ezra Purdia boots, Marin legs. So it's nice to see we're
getting Marin.
A Marin.
Yep.
Coming soon. And then here's a look at the Death Trooper helmet and some of the upcoming stuff. Here's a big one though. A new Darth Sidious is on the way, and my prediction, I'm really hoping it's a part of the new or the versus Mace Windu scene rather than another Yoda, a 2-pack with Yoda fighting him. But I guess we'll see. I'm really hoping it's like an alternate head. You can swap on just a Chancellor Palpatine from that. Cassian's TIE Avenger uniform. I know his helmet was leaked a while ago too, but there's like an overlay for it. Marin's jacket. Han Solo's overlay. We have a Moff Gideon.
Yep.
Yeah, and his belt. We have a Moff Gideon jetpack. Krennic's cape.
Yep. And that cape looks so good too.
Yeah, it does. And it's it's interesting to know that they're going with the hard goods rather than the soft goods for the Krennic cape, which I kind of prefer for characters that you don't need to pose.
I agree. I think for Krennic, the hard rubber is going to be better than soft blast or the soft goods. This next one was the biggest surprise. Yeah.
This is huge. We are officially getting Star Wars Visions Black Series, Ronan, and his droid, which is crazy to me. I would just expect Ronan, but the droid too? That's absurd. We were asking for that figure when the episode came out.
Yes.
Remember? On this podcast.
That was on our second episode.
Literally episode number 2, and it took them forever. But hey, better late than never, But see, this is the type of things we can get whenever we have less new media coming out, and Lucasfilm, yelling at Hasbro to
give us that break so we can get some cool stuff.
Yep. And then we have the lightsaber, Ronan's lightsaber leaked, and this is the hat for the droid, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. Phase 1, Captain Rex. I think we've kind of seen a look at this before, but this is like a first painted look maybe. And apparently they're saying this is going to be the Chancellor Palpatine body, and hopefully it's the Chancellor Palpatine version when he's fighting Mace Windu. And here's the season 3 Praetorian Guard helmet leaked. So you can look at all those leaks on Twitter at 5017set. And then Garoba kind of returned, which was interesting. But if you're already in that Discord, just go to the leaks and join that Discord, and then it's really handy right there. So shout out to them. But we're finally done with the beeping, so I hope everybody didn't turn off the podcast after that.
I almost did, and I'm on.
Yeah. So if anybody watching this who has a direct line to me, text me, let me know how to turn that off. So if I can turn that off, I'll be on more because I'll use the desktop version. But that's not a promise. All right, so Yakface, some more news. Yakface posted, I think earlier today, maybe, that Kel Naka, Savage Opress, Prince Caesar, the Range Trooper from Season 2 of Andor, and the Commander Cody Walmart exclusive in that sweet, sweet Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging are arriving in the U.S., so you can expect those to be shipping if you haven't pre-ordered soon. But the one that stands out to me there is obviously Savage Opress and the Commander Cody, 2 absolute bangers that I have been salivating for ever since they were revealed.
We technically still haven't had that Range Trooper revealed. We've only seen the packaging from like leaks stuff.
Yeah.
It's never been actually announced.
So I wonder if it's going to be another... What was the figure was it Fennec Shand that just showed up and they never revealed it officially?
Yes.
It, showed up before they revealed it.
Yeah, they never actually revealed because it was part of the wave, and the wave shipped to people, and there was like that missing figure that we didn't know what it was, and it was Fennec Shand. Yes, 100%.
And it ended up one of the best figures of the year that year, in my opinion, at least. I feel like that figure is wildly underrated. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy. Hopefully they haven't overlooked it. So I guess maybe I'll change my prediction from our listener email that maybe that'll be the next one revealed because they got to do it real quick.
They have to, yeah.
Yeah, so we can actually talk about reveals now.
We can. the one. So we made a mistake with our last episode. We should have waited one more week just to get the last reveal in.
Yeah. True. All right, here we go. We have the... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I can never remember how to do this perfectly. There we go. Okay. So we have... This was leaked also. So year of the leaks again. This 2-pack was leaked beforehand. The Phase 1 Clone Trooper and Super Battle Droid. And this is a great army building 2-pack if you prefer the Phase 1 clone and you need more Super Battle Droids. Also, what's crazy is $13.99 for this 2-pack.
You mean 30? What?
Oh, sorry, $39.99. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying. 30. Don't know where I saw that price, but $39.99. So just $20 per figure.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy these days. And
especially for a Super Battle Droid, like
that comes with a sword.
Yeah, no. Whoever took these photos clearly thought that add-on is a sword and not blaster bolts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of odd just to pose them straight down, but maybe give them the benefit of the doubt and say they were just trying to show off the accessory. But I think they actually have it like in a single picture, just holding it down too. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go through and find out. Yeah, like it looks like they're in this one. It looks like they're not shooting it.
You can tell when it's not Matt doing the posing and photography because this is not Matt's work. You can absolutely tell.
Yeah, but so that's the only reveal since the last time we've recorded a podcast. So 2 figures we have already. I mean, it is a
Did
great
you pre-order
it? No, I have 4 Super Battle Droids already. I realized the other day whenever I was doing my clone shelves, I only have 5 total Phase 1 clones, and 2 of them, one of them's the red ARC Trooper, and the other one is the Ahsoka Lieutenant, where they had 100,000 lieutenants running around that battle, or 501st Troopers, but Hasbro called them the Lieutenant. I have that one, and then 2 of the 2.0 Phase 1 clones, and only 1 of the new 3.0 body Phase 1 clones. So I need a couple more on the shelf, but I don't need to go too crazy with them or anything. I do prefer the Phase 2 clone myself. So I do need a couple more just to... Because I don't want to have the problem where on these I can fit 6 figures across per layer. Well, right now I have the problem where I have 5 Phase 1s. I don't want to throw in a Phase 2.
Sure.
So what I'm thinking is I'm going to wait to fill that spot with the Phase 1 Captain Rex that we're getting. And then it'll be a perfect 6 Phase 1s there. And then eventually maybe phase out that blue. Well, I'll just put that one next to Rex and it'll look perfect. So, but yeah, Phase 2 gang all the way. I mean, I really like the Phase 1 look. I just feel like they only showed up at the end of Attack of the Clones. And then we got them in Clone Wars for a little bit, and then they eventually went to Phase 2 there. I just also prefer the look more in general. But these do cover the chin. The Phase 2 does not.
True.
So it's arguably better. It
doesn't have that little like cleft in the middle of the chin is why.
Yeah.
Like the chin comes down to a point.
Yeah. And another thing about this 2-pack is they didn't paint on the chin, the black on the chin. And I know on other ones, we've gotten the black on the chest. There's 2 little sculpted in divots on the...
Yep.
On one of the... I think it's the left breast. One of the breast plates on there. They didn't paint in the black, so they will be a little different, but... for $39.99, you can't beat it, really. But next up, we have our discussion topics. So we never did a 2024 top 10 because we were waiting on you to finish yours. So I'm ready to jump into the 2024 top 10. You want to go first? I have a slideshow prepared, so you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Oh, I guess I'll go first since you have the more
Okay.
the president.
Right.
I'm currently working. I filmed my video for this weeks ago, but with the holidays and getting sick and going to Disneyland, I just haven't had time to edit it. I'm working on it. It's going to get edited soon, but I'm way late on it. So if you don't want to hear it, you can stop listening to the podcast right now. But if you want to hear it, I'll give it to you.
Still watch his YouTube video when it drops.
I worked hard on it. It's also a recap for the whole year. So it's more than just,
Oh, perfect.
yeah, it's more than just my top 10. But yeah, so my number 10 slot, I had the hardest time with this slot because I had like I knew what I wanted at the bottom, but the top half, I just like so many things about the same level. And it was just really hard to decide what to put where in what order. But for number 10, I put in IG-12 and Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that could have been there are all my honorable mentions. So I'm just going to list those off real fast. Grand Admiral Thrawn, Jedi Master Soul, Cassian Andor, Jorus Sabayoth, and then also, since I got him this year, I'm counting him, Dagan Gera. All could have been in that number 10 spot. But I chose IG-12 because I think I like the droid a lot better. It's a really good droid, and I think I like what it means for the line for the future, with the possibility of getting a new IG-88 and a new IG-11. Number 9, I've got Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Ooh.
He's the worst Jedi. And I gotta say, I did not like that they put him in the Acolyte, but not because of whatever like bullshit non-canon birthday people thought he had. I just don't like him as a character, but he's a really good figure. So I put him on my list. Like, he's that good.
Yeah, I think he's best Jedi.
He's the worst Jedi, but he's a good Jedi figure. If that makes sense. Number 8 is Momao Nidan, because he's one of my favorite figures of all time, just in terms of character. And even though he's mostly a reuse of Doc Onder, he's still great, and I'm still glad we have him.
And also the head being kind of
The head,
new
the head is
a big
new, and I
shot.
think the forearms are new, but like pretty much everything else is reuse. Number 7
And we
again,
got
is like
the Doc Under was specifically made to be a Momon Nadon later because
for sure,
the legs
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, for sure. Number 7, since I got her this year, she goes on my list, or last year, and that's Princess Leia. I do wish she had new legs. I don't know why they didn't, but everything else is so good. She's a great figure. Number 6 goes with that, and that's the farm boy Luke. It's the head sculpt that really kind of brought him down, but he's still really good. Like, I'm still really glad I have him. But the hair is too dark, and the hair is too flat. Number 5 is going to be the Droideka. I know a lot of people are probably surprised it's not higher, but I don't know. Like,
I mean, it's still top 5. We're just splitting hairs at this point.
exactly. And that's my point, is that it's still a really good figure. It's in my top 5 of the year, but I don't know. It just kind of feels plain to me. Like, it can't really go into its ball mode, and like it's fine. I like having it on the shelf. I bought 2 of them. My number 4 though is Pirate Captain Brutus, because he's really good. He's got gravitas. He's got shelf presence.
He really does. He's arguably one of the most unique figures we have on the shelf.
For sure. Yeah.
You
My number 3 spot is the Clones of the Republic 2-pack with Yoda and Gree. It's mostly for Yoda, but I let Gree come too because I mean it's a phase, it's a 3.0 clone trooper body, so fine. But I really do like that Yoda a lot. Like it's a really good Yoda.
Yeah.
My number 2 is going to be Darth Maul, and I specifically chose the one with the blood fin because I'm really happy we got the vehicle, but I also actually, I think I actually like the soft goods a little bit better on him because you can put him in better poses than the molded rubber skirt. And then my number 1 is going to be the Super Battle Droid because of course it is. Like it's just really good. Like
all that talk of Yoda being better than the Super Battle Droid, and you flaked at the end.
I was just messing with you guys.
You flaked at the end.
I like to troll you guys because you're all so into these prequel stuff, and you really like that. And I wanted to mess with you a little bit.
I get it.
But no, I mean, you saw my pictures when I got it. You know, like I just had so much fun. And if I had to base it on just how much fun I had of taking pictures of it, like nothing even comes close to that Super Battle Droid. Just the different poses you can get it in. I'm in on any release they want to do with this. If they're going to re-release it 100 times with slightly different paint jobs, I'm getting it because it's just such a good figure.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll bring my slideshow up on the screen here. So before, I already posted a top 10 on TikTok, and I think I may have put it on Instagram, not 100% sure. But whenever I posted that, I forgot that I got the Glavis Ring-Rolled Mandalorian in January, like early January.
Yummy.
We're talking like January 10th or something. So that seemed like a long, long time ago, and I had totally blanked. It just seemed like a 2024 or 2023 figure. So totally blanked on that.
That's why you gotta keep a list. You gotta keep a list like I do.
Yeah. So, and I had made this without him on there. So, but today, I had made my list, a while ago. And then, so I had updated it earlier today before we started. I updated it. But my honorable mention is Jeki. I feel like not quite good enough to make it into the top 10, but I did want to give this figure some representation because I do think it's the best of the Acolyte Jedi, and overall like articulation is amazing. All the paint applications on her hands, on her that orange by her eyes, I thought they did an excellent job with this figure. And I really like how the Acolyte Jedi, it's like a rubbery overlay, so you can bend. You can see in this picture, you can, whenever you move her arm, that overlay moves, so you can get him in really unique poses. So I think this figure is a big standout. My number 10 is the Darth Sidious. I actually had higher hopes for this figure, but I don't think it makes the top 10 without the lightning hands. And I think what brings it into the top 10 for me is how well the plastic works with the soft goods. I think it's a perfect blend. And the sculpt of the head mixed with how menacing he looks, mixed with like the gesturing hand rather than just like a C-cup hand on his left hand. And we get the alternate lightning hands. I just thought it barely squeezed into the top 10 for me. The figure that was number 10 before I remembered about Glavis Ring-Rolled Mandalorian was IG-12 and Grogu, which is right where you had him. I wrote down your list so I could compare. Yeah. So that one would also be an honorable mention for me. I think, I think that figure is crafted very nicely, and what it means for the future. Hopefully getting a new IG-88. And it being like, like you mentioned about Brutus, it has shelf presence. He's big and tall now.
For sure.
And it balances well. It doesn't have it, at least mine.
Yeah, it stays up real well. Absolutely. Yeah.
So they knocked it out of the park with that one. But it wasn't quite top 10 for me. Number 9, we have Moma Nadon.
Is that my number 9?
You had yours number 8.
Number 8. All right.
You had mine was 8 before Glavis Mando.
Right.
So it's right in that same range. Mostly for me, it's because of the paint wash on him and that new head, or the separately sculpted head. Like, it just seems like we got a lot more paint washing on this than we have on the Black Series in a long time. And the figure is absolutely just another one with shelf presence, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it really looks good. Yeah.
And number 8, I got Pirate Captain Brutus. All of the accessories, I talked about him earlier. You just mentioned him. All the sculpting, the way, like, I got the close up here. You can see how different the paint is on his little skirt thing, and it's all the different colors mixed in there to make it look used, and all the different sculpted detail on his chest and shoulders and sleeves, and all the blasters with accessory storage, that's built in with the character. But they knocked this figure out of the park. A late edition, because most people got this late in the year.
Very end of the year. Yep.
Number 7, I got Darth Maul and the Bloodfin.
Yeah.
This would have been higher for me had the Bloodfin been on like the movie accurate colors, but I do like what they went for with the throwback packaging. So I still like it a lot. Number 6, I had just edging out the Bloodfin for me, because we can use it for like actual realistic displays, is the Stap and Battle Droid. This is mostly just for the Stap. Like, you could take away the droid.
Yeah, who cares about the Battle Droid?
And it still could be, but the packaging, the Stap is number 6 for me. And it is cool that the Battle Droid does have that 1138 on the back, which, makes that different from the other ones.
It's true.
So the Stap made it at number 6. And then I had to throw in the Glavis Ringgold Mandalorian. I basically had to reconsider my entire top 5 because of this figure, because of how great this figure is. The shiny armor, and then the new updated color of the blade, which is it's a lot more vibrant than it used to be. The soft goods, really great, but I feel like the 4 I have above it, I'm still happy with putting this one at number 5. And number 4, I have a lot higher than you do.
It's true.
I think the ball joint wrists, kind of separated this figure for me from others, and how well they did the detail on the head. And I think it's arguably the best. It's weird. I do think it's the best Jedi we have in the Black Series, but I did edge out. Well, that's going to sound weird, so nobody clip that, but
nope, that's always edging.
I'm going to edge Yoda.
That's actually a joke in my top 10. Like, literally, I make that joke. Yeah.
Right over Ki-Adi-Mundi because of the chair. I mean, you have to consider the chair into
for
this.
me, it was the head. I love the head so much.
You love the head, Ayo?
Yeah, I love edging on the head.
So the chair combined with the alternate head, it did.
I feel like we should have Frederick on this episode.
Honestly, yeah. It did slightly go over Ki-Adi for me because of the alt head and the chair, and also the alt blade. You don't have to worry about pulling and plugging in that blade and snapping the little plug-in piece.
True.
It's just 2 separate. You get the unlit hilt and the full ignited lightsaber.
And this is how Hasbro should do it for every figure.
Absolutely. And then number 2, I think, by now you could probably predict it. The Droideka, I think it is a little plain. I think the addition of was it cubic 3D prints, right? With the blast effects.
Yeah.
But I didn't consider that, when thinking about this figure. But I think the engineering in the figure is still really good. You can get it mostly into a ball form, but, I think that's just something for you do it 1 or 2 times and then you pose it like this and you put it on your shelf. I think the color of that purple maroon, like just the way it glimmers.
What's weird with my color blindness? I can't even see that. Like I had no idea that he even had paint on him. I thought it was just like gunmetal black. And it wasn't until I saw Out of the Basement Boys talk about it. I'm like, really? He's got color on him? Because I just can't see it.
Yeah, it's like a maroonish purple. Justin has a word that he says about it. I'll try to think of it. But I think it's still really great. Iridescent. That's his word. It has an iridescent look, like to the purplish maroon that's got going. It's more maroon than purple, but I think the light hits it differently. A gunmetal black Droideka would be sick. So
it looks now to me. It just looks good.
I kind of want one. I kind of want like a gunmetal black Droideka. And then number 1, of course,
course.
is the Super Battle Droid. I feel like this is probably everybody's number one. Would it be number one without all the hidden detail underneath and without the blast effect?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Probably.
I was sold on this figure from the 2-pack with C-3PO.
Yeah. I mean, before even getting it in hand, and before we knew about the chest popping off. But the fact that they did all this extra work underneath and on the single pack they included the blast effect took it to a whole new level from the other figures. So that's it. That's the top 10. And then, so the biggest differences between our lists, I had Brutus 8 spots lower and you had Ki-Adi-Mundi. I had Ki-Adi at 4 and you had him at 9.
Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, I don't have the Luke and Leia.
Yeah, and I didn't have Mando on mine because he was on my 2023
last year, because you got him in December last year, right?
I did, yeah.
So he snuck into that list for you. But yeah, other honorable mentions like IG-12. Thrawn. I thought about Thrawn, but
he's up there. I think for me, what kept him back was the lack of the butterfly joints on the shoulders.
Yeah, but also then you got to consider, like, is it really necessary for that character?
Yes, it is.
I mean,
100%.
No, I don't.
There's
I
so
don't
many
think
poses.
so.
No. There's so many poses specifically that Thrawn would be able to do better. Anything with putting his hands together, which is like what most people try to do. Like,
This is all you need. This is all you need.
No.
It could come as a statue like this, and I'd be happy. Arms
There
behind
are
the
so
back.
many different poses he could pull off better if he could move his arms back and forth slightly.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't think it affects the figure that much for those poses I'm going to be putting him at.
Easily could have,
but I get where you're coming from.
And they cheaped out on the figure by not doing it, because it would, instead of being a solidly cast torso, it would have to be a torso and an overlay, which is more expensive to do.
That's fair. I do think it is one of the better likenesses, that we've gotten
100%
last year.
Yeah.
But so it is worth mentioning, as an honorable mention. It just didn't, that Sidious for me, especially with the addition of the lightning hands. And
for me, Sidious wasn't even close to even being my top 20.
Really? See, I thought it was worth.
To me, he was such a disappointment of a figure.
See, I was expecting a little better, but I feel like it was still a really, really awesome figure.
I think it's your bias towards Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, that might come into play, but at the same time, the
100%.
figure does there's nothing you can't do with the figure. I mean, it does everything you would really want it to.
I guess he looks good on the shelf fighting Yoda. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's very menacing on the shelf. He has a presence about him. That's going to be the theme of the episode.
Shelf presence, gravitas.
Yeah, he draws eyes, but it really was the without the lightsaber hands. He's probably not even an honorable mention. So I think having all that in there, and
I will give it that he comes
sculpting
with between the alt hands and the lightsaber, like that's more accessories than most come with. Although he is 90% reuse. Let's be honest.
That's fair. But what we see at least is
sure you don't see it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's how they can get away with giving him the alt hands and lightsaber, is because he is 90% reuse.
Hey, keep it up. I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready for the next Palpatine. Let's do it again.
I'm in. I mean, I'm not going to not buy it for sure.
So whenever you're thinking about shooting us an email, I would love to get other people's top 10s. Not everybody out there has an Instagram page or a TikTok or YouTube to post your top 10s on. So I'm going to put a call out there to our listeners. If you're a regular emailer, shoot us an email of your top 10. We want to know what they are, top 10 from last year. So there's your challenge, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. So right now, email us. So you don't forget, send us your top 10s. All right, let's jump into, I had the Yak Faces master list up. I don't know if you kind of wanted to go through this.
I've got my spreadsheet.
Do you want to pull that
up? Well, I don't have his leaks, but I've got everything that's been announced that hasn't come out yet, and I've got the pipelines.
Okay, we can just keep this up. We already have it, so
yeah, it's fine.
But outlook for 2025, it is the 10th anniversary of Force Awakens. Who knows if we're going to be getting anything? But it also is, of course, the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So we're hoping to get a lot from that. But what we have, if you haven't got the Skeleton Crew Wave, it is currently out. You can pretty much get that on any website. I have Brutus. That's the only one I have. And no spoilers, but I'm glad I waited on what's his name, Jod Nanawood, because I feel like there's a couple accessories that they might make a second version of.
We'll talk spoilers.
So we'll talk spoilers here soon. But we do have an upcoming wave. It's the Basil, Vernestra Rowe, Dagon, Gera, Princess Leia Organa, Luke Skywalker. You know, Mike lives in the future now with Landspeeder Luke.
do.
He got that Landspeeder Luke future invite.
Yep.
So Mike has that one already. Some people do. But the next one, we still have some mystery figures in this wave. We have Captain Rex and Anakin from the Ahsoka show, and then 3 mystery figures. Hopefully those are revealed soon. And then we have an April 2025 wave. It's going to be Fan Channel, and those are the ones we talked about earlier. It's a Bakara, Zizor, and the Commando Droid. So since Zizor is showing up,
Shizor.
So it's not
Shizor.
Shizor. Okay. So
Yep.
since Shizor is showing up in the U.S., I would imagine that these won't be too far behind.
I would assume they come out around the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, since they are supposed to be in the same Fan Channel wave. And then right after that, during summertime in July, Shakti, Luminar Unduli, and Sebulba, the Fan Channel wave. So 3 prequel figures. The pipeline, Moff Gideon, Imperial Praetorian Guard, Dash Rendar, and SM-33.
I hesitate to say that Dash Rendar was pipelined.
Well, that's true.
It's never been officially pipelined. It was accidentally put on a list.
Yeah. And that's all we've seen is the paragraph that.
So he's actually still missing the Moff Gideon Trooper, Praetorian Guard, Anakin Skywalker. Oh, because he has Anakin Skywalker on the different list, because that's still technically a pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah, he has it in the wave.
Yeah, I see that.
It's the specific wave and the Rex. So
yeah,
I guess these are unallocated figures coming out. You know, he doesn't know which way. And maybe some of them are like maybe this mystery figures.
Could be.
Hopefully these are 3 different ones, you know, just for the sake of getting different figures. But
I hope we
who
get
knows?
slightly different versions of Shin Hati and Balin Skull that still have the same height issues, but have slightly different accessories.
Let's put that on the back burner. Let's avoid any issues like that going forward in 2020. I'm trying to keep this positive, Mike.
Fair.
But speaking of that, I do hope we get season 2 version of Balin, because I'll probably honestly.
Well, did you see the rumor / news?
I sent you that.
I sent you that.
I sent you that.
What are you talking about? I sent that.
No, you're taking my shine right now. I literally
sent that.
No. But Rory McCann, reportedly taking over for Balin Skull. Unless you sent it first and I didn't see it, and then I sent it.
You sent it first.
Okay. I just sometimes I miss things.
No, you sent it first.
But apparently Rory McCann taking
the Hound. For those of you who don't know who that is, the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was also in another movie I watched recently, but I honestly can't remember what it was. But yeah, honestly, I would just buy the season 2 version and then probably just replace the
just go buy one of those Funko Hound figures from Game of Thrones.
You mean this one? You mean this one?
Specifically that one, yeah.
I literally bought this for $5. I think not pipeline. Fine Edition did a while ago.
You did.
It was $5 at my local shop. So I was like, I mean, why not? I got a couple Game of Thrones figures. Might as well. I've, pissed away $5 on worse things, probably.
For sure.
So. And then let's see here. This is the Masters of Evil 3-pack that people have already. We're getting the Kelnaka and Savage are on the way. The Emperor Palpatine with throne is still out there because that was revealed and put up for pre-order so long ago. So I'm sure that'll be shipping, and I can't wait for that to ship. I didn't pre-order it, but a lot of people ordered it.
I did pre-order it.
Really nice.
And then I canceled it.
I think I did the same thing, actually. I pre-ordered it just off of like the hype for it, and then I was like, it died off, and I was like, I really don't need another one. Why am I even doing this?
Kirby's right. Rory McCann is in Hot Fuzz. Yarp.
And then we have the Commander Cody on the way, Dagon Gera, and his droid 2-pack, which you have, right?
I have Dagon Gera, but I don't have.
Oh, the other. That's right. This one has the arm.
That one has the arm. That one, they announced that the day I released my video for the regular version.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
The Clone Commando and Training Droid 2-pack. That's an Amazon. The recently revealed Obi-Wan Kenobi and 2/12 clone pack, the kind of controversial one that we talked about on the last podcast.
Yep.
And then the Shadow Guard, or the Shadows of the Empire, Luke Skywalker, Imperial Guard disguise, and Boushh Leia, which I'm still eyeing that Luke. I don't want another Leia, but Boushh Leia specifically.
I want the Leia enough to. I want the Leia enough that I just got it. Like, whatever, it's fine. I want that Luke so bad, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I get that. If I had read them back in the day or had an attachment, I probably would. But honestly, I was thinking about getting it and then not even having Luke's head on it. Just putting the Imperial Guard on the shelf on the Empire section and just call it.
That's what I do with that Han Solo, the Membin Han. Like,
Same.
he's on my shelf in the Imperial
trooper.
section. Yeah, exactly. He's a
or
mud
whatever
trooper.
he is.
Yeah.
And then we just talked about the recently revealed Phase 1 and Clone Trooper Droid 2-pack. But there's a lot of stuff on Yak's list that hasn't been officially revealed. Apparently there's a canceled one, which we'll probably never know what that is. Maybe Yak can tell us next time he's on the podcast. I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. And then, but this is what's most interesting. All of these Revenge of the Sith figures to me, especially the 2005 packaging. And then hopefully, I think it's that the 501st clone is going to be accurate movie colors, which is a little dangerous for me because I might have to buy.
Oh my God! Are you gonna buy 18 of them?
I might have to buy like 2 whole cases of them. So, but a bunch of rumored figures on here. You know, Obi-Wan and Anakin. You know, the Han Solo and Chewbacca that was leaked, and these have been leaked also. The Anakin and Obi-Wan. We've seen a couple parts of the head for Obi-Wan.
I didn't know Barriss Offee was rumored.
Yeah, Barriss is apparently on the way. Another
Holocom
Revenge of the
Emperor.
Sith.
Are you gonna get the Holocom Emperor for your little display?
See, whenever they announced it, I was kind of hyped for it because it was like the day after Vader was revealed. Yak Face came out and said he posted something about the Emperor. I think he commented on my post and said something that the Emperor was on the way soon, actually. But now I can just 3D print in my translucent blue filament the Landspeeder Luke one, and
He doesn't have to have articulation. Not for like a like a hologram.
I don't know if I need it though.
I'm not. I decided after Vader, I'm done with the line. Like, I got my Vader.
That's kind of how I'm feeling. And you know, this filament I have is that translucent blue. It's really nice. You know, because I have this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that'll be just fine. And probably I won't print it until I have like a specific display ready for it, and I don't even know if I will. But I might just have it next to like the Darth Maul on the shelf or something too.
Sure.
So I don't know if I need the Holocom Emperor, but if it ever hits a sale, you know, then which it probably will be in Holocom.
Yeah, it probably will.
It's probably smart to wait. And then that one might be worth picking up at like a $13.99 or something. Whatever
Ross or Ollie's price.
Yeah. Yeah, if it hits Ollie's, then I'll definitely pick it up. And then we did see recently Marin was leaked specifically from Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
Cassian Andor TIE Avenger pilot gear. So it's kind of a spoiler for Andor Season 2.
Same with the Deidre.
Yeah. Going to be all armored up. I don't know if I get the Cassian, it'll just be with the helmet on, and he'll be in the Imperial Army shelf.
Yeah, he'd be just a cool TIE Avenger pilot. Like,
Yeah, and we don't have that yet. So
exactly.
And then Deidre, unless she has a helmet, but I have the other Deidre on my Imperial Officers shelf, which is right in the middle.
Like, do you need 2 Deidres?
I probably don't need 2 Deidre, even though I feel like the armored look, if she's out in the field of battle, will be pretty sick.
Yeah.
But it probably just not a figure.
Same thing. Like, I've got my what's his face from Empire Strikes Back.
Veers.
I have him armored. Like, I'll never not display him armored.
Recently, Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame
That's true.
figure General Veers. He's armored up all the way. You have to display that figure in the armor. You have to. I mean, why wouldn't you? So that's another challenge. Email us if you don't have that figure in the armor and tell us why, so we can yell at you on the next podcast. And then, we're getting the new Krennic, which will be really nice because that's one of those figures that came out in the era we were talking about of terrible figures. So that's a big replacement.
Paragon does bring up a good point. Imperial Mommy.
Yeah, maybe that's a reason to get 2 Deidres.
Yep.
Ezra Bridger, Night Trooper disguise, and another Ezra Bridger on Peridia. We've seen some of these leaked, and the other leaks like Death Trooper, the zombie version, the B5, and Ronin, and then some mystery Ahsoka, Rebels, and Clone Wars figures. And I think Yak did say, was it Rebels was a lightsaber wielding character? I'm pretty sure he
did
said
say that. Yeah.
So maybe like another Inquisitor, or hopefully for me, blind. I want blind Kanan personally.
I would love blind Kanan.
Pletho, this is the only acceptable answer. He says, I don't have Veers in armor because I don't have Veers. That's the only acceptable answer. Or if you keep him in package, which is semi-acceptable.
Also acceptable, yeah.
But not mostly acceptable.
No, there are more acceptable answers for sure.
Yeah. And then this is just, I don't really want to get into all these.
No, because you're just reading off random words. Yeah.
No, I'm not getting into these, but if you're interested, go on yakface.com or yakfaceforums.com and go through the master list, and you can look at everything we're getting. But I mean, a couple of these things are cool. Like, we're getting some more deluxe figures.
Yep.
Like this one kind of stands out. This $54.99. It's kind of an odd price because recently prices for 2-packs have been like $39.99. I think the Yoda 2-pack was $55, right? It was because it wasn't in the 40s. I'm pretty sure it was this price.
What Yoda 2-pack?
With Gree.
No, that was 45.
Yoda and Gree was 45?
Yeah.
So this one has to be a little more.
It's got to be like a vehicle or something.
Yeah, so this is the one that really has my attention. It's the $54.99 one.
Yeah.
And then here's another.
We're getting 2 holiday figures. Yeah.
Yep, 2 holiday. So, yeah, a lot of stuff on the way in 2025. So a great time to be a Black Series collector. But I say with that, kind of that's the future of Black Series. And do you want to do Hall of Fame or talk about Skeleton Crew first?
Let's talk about Skeleton Crew.
All right. So from now on, going forward, full Skeleton Crew spoilers from this moment on. Overall, what are you kind of thinking of the show so far?
Love it. I love it.
I'm in the same boat. It's almost like this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
It just feels, this might be the most, like the show that feels the most like Star Wars in a weird way.
Yeah.
That's not directly connected with all the main stuff going on. Like, of course, whenever Luke Skywalker walks in on the Mandalorian, like, this is Star Wars. But this just, I don't even know how to say it. It just feels like what Star Wars is meant to be.
I feel like when they did that, that was a cheap way to evoke nostalgia. Whereas what they're doing with Skeleton Crew is harder because they're evoking the feeling of nostalgia while doing something new.
Yeah. It's like they're emitting like a feeling of like just
Yeah.
people on an adventure, and that's just pure Star Wars.
Yeah, we have one more episode left, which obviously next episode we record, we'll talk about, the end and what we want. But of the 7 episodes, I think there's only been one where I didn't really care for it, but I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my favorite.
Which
But
one?
every other episode has just been so good.
Which one was the one you didn't really care for?
The one where they go to the other not at Atten planet. It's like
That's the one that
war-torn.
popped in my head whenever the at Akron episode.
The
I still
ending of
did
it
like-
was cool. Like, cause
Yeah.
that was the, I don't remember no at Atten. I can't say I remember that. That was the title
Yeah.
of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause that was the one where they have the bombshell where it's like, he does know it. He just can't say that he knows it. The ending was cool, but I never really cared for like we're war torn freedom fighters storyline. It's never, anytime they do it in like Clone Wars or
It's
whatever.
like every planet they drop
Yeah.
off at Clone Wars, there's some type
Yeah.
of tribe combat
exactly.
going on.
Exactly. It's never been my favorite kind of storyline. But again, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my favorite. But like everything else, the little things, like there's so much in here that's not CGI. Like the trash crab.
Yeah, that was
from
stop
the-
motion.
That was stop motion. Like that's crazy. It's cool that they're doing stuff like that where they're not just finding the cheapest way to do it. Like they're doing interesting stuff to make it feel like classic Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I do want to say,
Go ahead.
rest in peace, Captain Brutus.
Oh my gosh.
Dude he got shot. He got executed.
Domed. Like,
Point blank.
I was not expecting that in
No.
this show.
No.
I was like, I feel like he's in a good position to kill him, but at the same time, with the way the show's, I'm not sure they would do that execution style, like you mentioned, where he just doesn't have a shot and then literally.
Just does. You know what's interesting about Jod or whatever you want to call him? It feels like what they tried to do in The Last Jedi with DJ's character, where where he's a scoundrel, but it seems like he might have a heart of gold deep down, like Han Solo basically, or Lando Calrissian, where they want to be a good guy, but they're just trying to make their way through hard times and do what's best for them, but eventually they'll come out on top and be the good guy that they knew that he's going to be. And he's just not. Like he's just not gonna, like every time he turns around, he's kind of a piece of shit. Like
Yeah, he's a total asshole.
he's an asshole. Yeah, exactly. So I find that interesting where they're kind of doing that same thing, but like I feel like it's working more. But I feel like there's more time though to flesh it out, which is one of the nice things about having a TV show and stuff like it. Like if they crammed all this in 2 hours, like that probably would feel rushed.
Yep, and I feel like it makes sense with his character, the way he's written, because
Sure.
since we've gotten to know him over so many episodes, and we've come to find out all of his different names. Like every time he meets a new person, they call him a
They
new
have
name.
him a different name. Yeah.
Yeah, which is that just shows you what his background is.
Yeah.
So he's always on the run from somebody. And
I hope. Go ahead.
And they fooled me, after that episode when they run into Kim.
Yep.
The little owl and
Yes.
the X-Wings are the bad guys and all that.
Yep.
Like, and he agreed to a deal with them. I legitimately thought that he was actually going to help him. And then
Same.
And you always had it in the back of your mind that maybe he could betray him, but
Yep.
But it genuinely felt like they were on the same team going forward. Like that was the moment, because that's the classic thing. Like you meet somebody and they it's kind of
They're out for
iffy.
themselves. And
It's iffy at first, and then there's that one defining moment that you actually become one solid team.
Yeah, where he seems like he's identifying with the kids and gonna
and we've had that with the 4 kids themselves, and then now Jod is the member out because he betrayed him, and I think it's a great story. The way they wrote it like that, because we did have like the kids kind of split up in that last episode with the trash crab on that planet, and then after that they kind of
it made me love KB in that episode. She was my least favorite, and I think there she went maybe my most favorite, but behind Neil. Neil's always gonna be my favorite. But like, I don't know, just like without saying exactly what happened, they gave us enough information to know that like something happened to her, and
Like an accident, yeah.
like an accident. Like she's essentially like a robot because she has to be to stay alive, not just because it's cool or whatever. And she's got things that she can't do because of that, and like she knows that, but she doesn't want to say it because she doesn't want people to just see her that way. So I thought that was really cool.
I also like, why didn't she just keep like a stack of them metal cylinders on her at all times?
They didn't really expect to go off into space.
That's true. She probably had a stack at home, but
right.
I feel like if I was dependent on a little metal cylinder, I would have a pocket
Like an
on me
EpiPen?
at all times.
Like
Yeah,
an
like
EpiPen. Yeah.
I would have like 10 of them on me just in case.
Yeah, it was really lucky they just happened to find
Be in
garbage.
sand
Yeah.
to be able to put a hole in. And
I want to know if you agree with this. I don't ever want to know Jod's backstory. Like, was he a youngling? Was he just some guy that figured out the Force stuff? Like, I don't want to know that. I like the mystery.
I want to find out, but I don't want like a full episode on it. I want him to maybe mention it, but I don't want like a side series about it. You know, I think
it's interesting that, like, you know, with at the beginning we're theorizing that he's just tricking them. Like, no, it seems like he absolutely does have the Force. Like he can access the Force. He can use the Force. Like, this is not a trick. The episode where they found the lightsaber and Wim when
puts it
Wim
upside
is
down,
holding it. My wife were like watching it, and my wife's like, he's gonna be holding that upside down. You watch. I'm like, no, he's gonna use it. It's gonna be some goofy thing. And as soon as he turns it on, and it's upside down. I died. I absolutely died.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's probably the most realistic. Like Wim, as much as people want to think they're cool in Star Wars and they know what's going on, Wim has had two moments in this where, like, if I were in Star Wars, Wim is doing exactly what I would do. Number one, holding a lightsaber upside down accidentally. Number two, getting in the cockpit of like the gunner and just spin around and shoot. Just spinning and shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite. So Commander Cook in the comments says Wim is his personal favorite.
That's fair.
Mine is, my order's probably Neil.
Yeah.
Fern. I like how she's sort of not necessarily, well, she's kind of been the leader, but she's also she's got like a strong spine. You know, she's got you know, she's kind of the kid that'll talk back to you, and so I kind of like that. And then the next two, Wim and KB, they're just like flip a coin. You know, I don't dislike any of them.
I don't dislike anyone either. Exactly. Yeah.
But Neil is definitely like the star of the show for sure. 100%.
For sure. Yeah.
For me. But where do you think
it's really good.
Where do you think this next episode's going to go? So we left off with Jod. He's in the treasure room. They said they have. So apparently there's a theory out there that they said there's 1,139 of those vaults. The theory is one of the vaults is going to be destroyed, so that way it leaves 1138, which is the reference to Star Wars, A New Hope. So
of course,
ANTHX. So, where do you think it's going to go from here in the finale?
I honestly don't know. Well, you know what's nice though? I feel like every time we go into a finale, it's always like, I don't know how they're going to wrap this up because it feels like there's too much. And then I don't feel that way about this. Like I don't know what's going to happen next, but I don't feel like they're in a position where too much has to happen in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I thought, especially like with Book of Boba Fett got.
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like there was so much to do in the last episode, but then now
that last episode is like an hour long. So
yeah,
for Book of Boba Fett, yeah.
And now, like, 'cause it would feel different if we were on a different planet and we know they still have to find Adatin, but we've already found Adatin.
Yep.
So now, literally anything could happen from here.
Well, now they just have to fight off the pirates, basically.
So I guess, do you think the pirates are going to find a way in? They would have
I
to
think
make
so.
it entertaining, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So the pirates will find a way in, and then
They got to do something when Jod's basically there. It's going to kill their parents. He's going to kill everybody.
you think there's going to be some
I
deaths,
think
some main
I
character
don't know if
deaths?
there's going to be deaths, but at this point, it wouldn't surprise me because they haven't really shied away from it so far.
Also, I do got to bring up SM33. I love
Yeah,
SM33.
please do. Same.
I love SM33, the character. I can't wait to get his Black Series figure.
Same.
But you're telling me this droid, somebody just mentions something to him and he switches teams. Why does he switch teams every episode?
Because people are playing with his rules of his programming.
But you got to grow a spine at some point, dude.
He's
You're on
a
Jod's
robot.
team or you're on the kid's team.
No,
Like,
he's literally a robot. He's on whoever's team he's programmed to be on. So if you logic him onto your team, you get him on your team.
I mean, yeah, but also whenever in this most recent episode, whenever Jod says, "I claim the ship,"
Yeah.
and then SM33 is like, "Okay, it's yours," and then the unclaimsies thing felt like
It
just
felt weird. Yeah.
it. That's the moment that kind of took me out of it.
Sure.
I was like, really? You can just say unclaimsies in the droid? But I think it's because, and it helped me when I read this on Reddit because other people were talking about that as well. It just seemed very convenient for the writers. Just make them say unclaimsies and it'll work. But the theory, they're saying that their headcanon is SM33 likes the kids and it doesn't like Jod. And if you think about what Barbossa said in Pirates of the Caribbean, they're just guidelines anyways.
Right. Yeah.
That he was like, screw it, I'm on the kids team, and then just punches Jod. So I can accept that he just
Sure.
overall just likes the kid and doesn't like Jod, and then overprogrammed himself to screw the rules. But at the same time, like, come on, that was confusing. It was like, wait, what did she
It
say?
happened very fast and it was very confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, how did that work? Just to
It was definitely like little kid logic.
make somebody unclaim a ship by just saying, I call unclaims,
Yeah.
But
But I don't care. Honestly.
that was the only moment of the show where I was like, I don't know if that works, but it was fun, regardless.
Well, what got me was, he used Jod used the Force to undo his little manacle. Like, why did he do that before? Like, he was literally getting thrown out an airlock. Like, why wouldn't you just unshackle yourself then? Like, why did you use? So it's whatever. You just kind of some things you just gotta, suspend disbelief and just kind of go with it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, overall, the show it's far exceeded my expectations.
Same.
I was kind of expecting a lame little kid story.
Same, especially when they had the like what the show was about. I'm like, I'll watch it, but like this doesn't sound interesting.
Yeah, but now it's arguably one of the best series we've gotten from Disney Plus.
So what I really want them to do is have like one show a year and have it be like kind of like an anthology where like I don't really know if we need Skeleton Crew season 2, but take this premise and have a season where you focus on something else interesting for a year. And then the next year you focus on something else where it's like every year you're just getting fun stories in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like American Horror Story or Fargo, where it's like every season is just kind of its own,
Like kind of different.
own story. Yeah. Where we don't need, and they should have been doing this the whole time. Like with the Mandalorian should have just been the first season of this, where like this season we're focusing on this character, the next season we're focusing on a different character, and just and you can have those characters like interweave into the story, but like have each season focus on like it's a different story.
Yeah, but then they can't, capitalize on Grogu merch for 5 years.
That's the problem. Is there? It's got to hit that bottom line. But like I said, they could have brought those characters in, but like, I feel like they had a good story with like the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, and then they just didn't know where to go from there. Like even with Book of Boba Fett, it just seemed like they were kind of grasping at straws and just making.
There are those like insider reports, whether people want to believe them or not, that say Book of Boba Fett, as soon as Grogu became big and Book of Boba
Yeah.
Fett was a thing, the executives kind of made the writers pull in Grogu somehow,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where it should have just been, like I said, I think an anthology series of Star Wars, where you just give us a little microcosm of just fun characters, a fun adventure, different style, different. Maybe 1 year's a heist, maybe 1 year's the Goonies, maybe. Yeah, I agree, Pletho. Making too much can hurt the bottom line. You get oversaturated, and that's kind of like what we were getting.
Especially whenever they did Last Jedi and then Solo back to back, essentially.
Exactly. We're getting too much too fast, and it makes Star Wars lose what makes
its
it special.
aura.
Yeah, exactly. So I think having like one show a year, I think that's good.
But I do think it's good for Star Wars to return to theaters also.
I'm definitely think it should. Yeah,
so one show a year and a movie every other year.
Sure, or every 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's doable. One series a year, based across all your different series that you have.
Yep.
And then a movie either every other year or every 3 years.
And what's cool is to help save time, like you can have different people working on the different seasons. So like, now it's like, oh, they just did Mando season 1 and now they have to like push out Mando season 2. Whereas like give that crew a year to do their thing, and then you can focus on a different team doing a different story, doing a different thing. And no one has to like rush their stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have to say, I'm super impressed with Skeleton Crew's, like the quality of the visuals, all of that stuff. Like it's phenomenal.
It's insane how much better it looks than the Acolyte, and the Acolyte's budget was way more.
Way more.
Which is insane to think about, because sometimes the Acolyte scenes, like especially whenever they were on that Kelnaka's planet. I don't know what the name of it was, but some of those forest scenes were not good.
Well,
like
just the fights they were on good, the volume,
but and then, but like this, like the CGI looks like it's theater quality. Like you could go to a movie theater and show it on the big screen.
Yeah,
and the budget's so much lower than the Acolyte, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know what happened with all that. Maybe more reshoots in Acolyte, but.
And that's honestly, it probably is what it was. The reshoots always balloon everything out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy it. I want more like it. I don't necessarily want more of it. Like I said, I don't know if we need a Skeleton Crew season 2. I don't know if I care about following these kids on another adventure. Because like, what are the odds they get into another adventure? Like this seems like a fun kind of one-off story, and I'm okay with it being just a fun one-off story.
Well, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna end up in the big like end game type event where we have Mandalorian, Bo-Katan, Luke Skywalker, all these like Ahsoka, all these merging of heroes, and the big thing they're going to get to, and then the Skeleton Crew kids are going to be there somehow, and it's going to be like, why are they here? Fighting alongside Sabine. And
plus, though, I don't want to come off as like I don't like the Acolyte. I enjoyed the Acolyte. It wasn't my favorite thing, but like I thought it was good. But I do think there were weird choices in it, like that they did. Whereas I feel like Skeleton Crew hasn't fallen in a couple of traps. And I'm not saying Skeleton Crew is perfect. There's definitely some scenes where like this doesn't look great, or the acting, they're kids or whatever. But like for the most part, I'm just enjoying it. I think I'm enjoying it as just a fun story more than I've enjoyed almost anything else. Maybe Mando season 2, but like this just seems like more fun.
Honestly, I feel like the acting specifically from the kids is better than a lot of the stuff we got in Acolyte. And I know Acolyte was
better than we got in the prequels.
Far better than the prequels. And I know that the Acolyte, some of it's made to be weird because it is how Jedi talk, and it's very choppy.
Sure.
But even like some of the other ones, I thought May and that character May and Osha, I feel like some of the scenes she did, like some of them were really good, but some of them I just thought it was kind of like cardboard acting, and I feel like the kids are out acting a lot of people we've seen in Star Wars lately. So I think they nailed it with this show, just from top to bottom, everything around. Jude Law has been fantastic. He's a perfect asshole for the story.
Absolutely love him. Yeah, I definitely want a figure of Captain Silvo. Definitely has to have his helmet. It could be removable if they want it to be, but definitely need the helmet and that jacket. Definitely need a lightsaber. Like 100% need a lightsaber.
The figure I want the Jod Nanawood figure we have.
Yeah.
But the accessories, lightsaber, and then whenever he in that one episode, he was trying to get back to the ship and escape the bounty hunters chasing him, and he popped up out of the little the sewer, whatever it was, with all the gold all on.
Oh
like,
yeah, all the
jewelry.
jewels. Yeah, he's wearing.
I think that, and then a lightsaber, and I'd be happy. I'd get that one for sure.
For sure.
Do you want the? What if they made the kids in their wizard gear?
Oh yeah.
Whenever I saw that and it was hilarious, the first thing that popped in my mind, I said, I know Mike's gonna want all 4 of those in there.
Of course I do. Like, do I want it more than other stuff? No, but like, 100% I'd buy it because it's ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think Pocket, is it Pocket or Poppet?
Pocket.
That would be an excellent Black Series figure.
Yeah, we definitely need her. She voiced Merida in Brave, Pixar's Brave.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I know I've heard that actress voice before.
Yeah. There's so many good figures I want from this. Like most of that pirate crew, 100%. Gunther, I need a Jaleel White action figure.
I mean, any of those pirates, you could just throw like darts at a board blindfolded
for sure.
on the character picture.
Well, at the very least, we need the what's his face from the Mando season 3. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a Bane.
Vane.
Yeah, I think it's Vane. Yeah, because even if you don't want them to be pirates, you can just throw them in a cantina.
Exactly.
You have a cantina 3D print or anything.
Exactly.
That's what I'm doing.
Characters like that can fit anywhere. They can be in a cantina. They can be in Jabba's palace. They can be just on a crowded alien street. Like, they don't have to be pirates if you have a little bit of imagination.
Yeah. But yeah, Skeleton Crew is going awesome. I say we jump into, let's add another figure into the Black Series Hall of Fame. So I'm real quick going to pull up my Instagram and I'll do another little update here. So let me share my screen.
Paragon. Jod did nothing wrong. Yeah, right.
All right, here we go. So here's the current Hall of Fame. We have Darth Vader, Game Guard, Scout Trooper and Speeder, Greedo, Luke and Yoda, Dagobah Pack, Fennec Shand, 2020 Stormy, Count Dooku, Figure Dan, and the modal nodes. Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars, the good version, not the terrible version. Boba Fett, Return of the Jedi, deluxe version. The Hoth Rebel Trooper, Ventress, Snow Speeder, with Dak, Cad Bane, and Toto. Lando Calrissian from Return of the Jedi, and last episode we put in General Veers. So now we need number 18. What's it going to be? What's number 18? I feel like I'd look at my shelf.
I would like to submit, because it's been exactly 1 year.
Wait, I think I know where you're going with this, and I might say the same thing.
Glavis Ringworld Mandalorian?
Oh.
I can't see what you're pointing at.
Has it been a year for Malgus yet?
Oh. Yeah?
I mean, I guess that was 2023, right? So it had to be.
Malgus,
Malgus or Glavis Ringworld Man. Well, actually, for me, it hasn't been a year for Glavis Ringworld Mando, so I got to wait.
It's been almost exactly a year for you.
No, I got like 3 more days. I got like 3 or 4 more days.
You're gonna hold it to the.
I mean, we have a standard in place for a reason.
Okay. All right. Then you know what?
Well, technically, that was when my video went up, so I probably got it around now. So it's up to you. Your call. Both of them are really good. Look, Pirate Code. We're sticking to the Pirate Code.
Sticking to the pirate code.
Commander Cook's nominating the Sith Trooper, which is an excellent trooper.
Yeah, Sith Trooper is good, and he was one of the first figures with like butterfly joints and stuff. I mean, I've got like Jaina Solo. We've got Zeb. We've got Endor Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Those all are figures I feel like could be on the list. How long has it been since we got the new R2?
Ooh. I mean, that's definitely 2023, so that's over a year.
I feel like we could put the new R2 mold on there.
All right, so R2 or Malgus right now. Do we have any legend stuff in there, though? We do not.
All right, you want to do Malgus? I love Malgus. He was in my top 10.
I mean,
he's like,
he was my number one.
all right,
I'm
I'm good with Malgus. If you want to do Malgus, let's do Malgus.
All right, yeah,
You wanna
let's
get
do
nuts?
Darth Malgus.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah, let's go crazy. Let's do Darth Malgus
Yeah.
because I feel like he's that good of a figure to where since he came out over a year ago now, he's like a first ballot. This is the first time he's eligible essentially, and he makes it in. So, yeah, let's do Darth Malgus. I think people will like that one. I like that one. Next episode we can consider Rex, R2, and whoever else. Mando, Sith Trooper. But we got to stick to the pirate code over a year.
Stick to the pirate code.
But yeah, Malgus is definitely one of the best Black Series figures of all time. So, and one day, I'm going to say it. One day, we will put Brutus in, but it'll be a while.
He's got at least a year.
Yep, it'll be a while, but he'll make it. He'll make it for sure. So, but one more thing before we jump off and do a sign off. Mike, I made a really big purchase, kind of, like very off of a whim, just very randomly. Didn't think about it, didn't consider it, just randomly made the purchase on the spot. I finally got the AMS attachment for the bamboo.
Wow.
Finally bought it. I sent you all the screenshot of the purchase.
You did.
And it's something I've wanted for a while. And December was a good TikTok month, and I have a good amount in my my content creation build up that supports the collecting, because I hadn't really purchased a ton recently. I mean, this SHF 3PO is the most expensive thing, but then Luke sent us a little preview of what he's cooking. I'm not saying what it is.
Luke is cooking right now.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, people
Just
are
call
gonna
that guy
think,
Gordon Ramsay right now because he is cooking.
People are gonna think we're over exaggerating because Luke is one of our really good friends in the community. But trust me, we are not. Like, this might be one of the best things he's ever done. Like,
Yep.
if it's not the best, it's easily top 5. We're not giving any hints. We're not saying what it is, but it basically made me buy EMS because there's a lot of other stuff I need to print with AMS. And this one was the one where, I need the Millennium Falcon that he did. But this one, it'll be really nice with AMS. So people follow Landspeeder Luke. He's going to pretty soon here. I think he teased it on his Instagram story a couple days ago. But if you haven't seen it, stay tuned because it's going to be a treat. If you have a 3D printer, this is something you're definitely going to want for your display. And it was so good, it made me buy. It made me just finally pull the trigger. And also, like, what really did it, I got on the website just to glance, and it was on sale for $50 cheaper. It was $2.99 instead of the normal $3.49. And it said it was a pre-sale. It said it would ship in late January. Bought it, and it shipped literally the next morning or whatever. So it'll be here on, I think it said it'll be here on Tuesday or Wednesday. So excited to get that hooked up.
Nice.
But I think that's going to do it for us for episode 86 of Black Series Cantina. We're kicking off 2025 with a bang. Our next episode, I'm hoping to have a really big guest on the podcast. So stay tuned. If not this next episode, likely the one after that. So one of these upcoming podcasts, we're going to have a guest. We know everybody will want to stay tuned and listen very closely to what they have to say, I'm sure. So, but with that, Mike, where can people follow you, and what do you got cooking up on your channel?
Great question. I'm on YouTube, Mike Case. I made a bunch of videos in the last couple of months. One of the ones I'm most proud of is I did a history of every Black Series vehicle that I worked really hard on, and I thought it was pretty funny. If you wanna go watch that, it would help me out. I also did a video about the holocom Darth Vader that I basically get like halfway through, decide I don't want to do it anymore, and I do a review on a different figure. So again, I've got videos you can watch, but I've also got my top 10 video coming out. And obviously, if you listen to this, you know what my top 10 is, but I'll have a lot more information on why. And of course, it's hopefully funny. So there's that.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will be.
I'm also on Instagram, mike.case, if you want to see pictures of like my toy pickups and stuff. I've got a bunch of pictures of this Michelangelo on there because I just did a photo shoot and I think they all came out pretty nice. That's what I got. That's where you can find me.
You can follow me on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. That's where I update for what we're doing whenever the show gets posted. Follow me on TikTok while you still can for the next 9 days or whatever it is. 10 days.
I heard one of the Shark Tank guys is going to buy TikTok.
Oh yeah. He was saying that he kind of wanted to. That's Star Wars or the Star Wars Black Series on TikTok. You can't miss me. I just had a bunch of videos go viral that were just retreads of old videos, but they still popped off, which was really nice. Because at the end of December, I was like, if this is going to be my last TikTok check on January 15th, because I get it, in arrears. So I'm going to just repost all of my really big bangers to the end of the month. And I posted like 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day. And it really paid off, which was really nice. So hopefully TikTok stays alive, but we shall see. You can follow us on Patreon as well if you want to support the podcast. Patreon.com/Black Series Cantina. Like we said earlier, we have a tier for every budget. If you cannot support us financially, we totally agree. Leave us we totally understand why, but you can leave a like and review wherever you can to really help the podcast in our algorithms and all that. If you do want to support the podcast, but not on Patreon, we do have merch like mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, anything you can get with the Black Series Cantina logo on it. Follow us on Twitter at TBits Cantina, and join our Facebook group. That's Black Series Cantina. That's mostly where we post to like whenever we're going live and all that. And then, like we said earlier, keep the email segment alive. That's blackseriescantina@gmail.com. And we'll see you in a couple weeks for episode 87.
Yep. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever. Bye. What are you doing?